If you recall, a few months ago we met Varys Greenleaf, a dragon-marked foundling and former sea dragon captain tasked with a scheme hatched by Prince Rhaegar Irwinan himself to facilitate an alliance with House Lyranda. Alas, in an unrelated string of misfortunes, Captain Varys was cursed and kept for 6 years beneath the salvaged lighthouse. Thus, the world we now know never saw these particular schemes come to pass. But we returned Varys from the lighthouse, and within months, Mr. Greenleaf has reconnected with Rhaegar and committed to getting back into fighting trim to rejoin the Sea Dragons. And while he is no longer a captain, he is, in his words, to attend the Prince. High Prince. Now, I could speculate about what this means, but according to a letter in my mailbox, I may find out just as soon as I touch base with him. My focus has been occupied, however, because during his time beneath the lighthouse, of course, Varys was unable to keep his ship. The Silver Dancer, a merchant vessel known for being swift and reliable. It was won in a contest by the current Sea Dragon captain Myrildene Frostroot, the same Myrildene that hired Kai to impersonate her for the premiere of an opera written by Myrildene's romantic partner, Tarek Elam, the same Tarek Elam currently awaiting resurrection after his gruesome murder by Warfred Bartosz, the same Warfred Bartosz that claimed Myrildene Frostroot was a traitoress. But betraying who? And is there truth in that accusation? And is there danger in that truth? What we see here are a web of factions and people, each with their own motivations, some known and some unknown. And if you pay close enough attention, patterns do reveal themselves, like observing the distance between stars or measuring the edges of polygons. This is how we measure outcomes. But in order to find outcomes, you need information. All this to say, I broke into the Silver Dancer. Well, it's more accurate to say that I walked onto the Silver Dancer while invisible, but certainly I broke into locked areas of her captain's quarters to find letters and ledgers and, notably, encrypted messages, which I transcribed for my own perusal. Pardon me. I walked in and out undetected, and I must apologize to her crew if they are berated for it, but I left a sending stone on Myrldene's desk, so hopefully she bypasses them and speaks to me directly. Despite my methods, I am not the only one interested in information. These, from the air quotes, salon, put N in touch with a contact. Named Contact. She is a warforged, claiming to represent a new faction on the board named the Prince's Ratcatchers. When N first told me about them, I told on myself by asking which prince. Prince as a concept, or one in particular? But of course their attention is on Regalport, so one can assume that they too attend the High Prince, or his values, at least, if they are what they say he are. If they are what he says they are, for a more stable nation. So of course they were interested in hearing about Sir Edmund Beckett and the Snapdragon infestation in Regalport this past month. Assurances were made that Edmund's reputation would not be untarnished after his butler's involvement in the murder mystery, and they will be in contact. No, that's confusing. Contact will remain in touch with Kai. Yes? Yes. Okay. In simpler news, the Dry Docks have a new mage right. Eleanor Bailiwick and her young family have finally moved in to escape the bustle of Regalport. Bruno has referred to her as my replacement, despite me never saying that in so many words. In fact, Bruno has made a fair few assumptions in how he has been speaking lately. Accurate? Possibly. But irrelevant for now. What matters is that they are here and comfortable. I introduced them first to the nesting quail, as all people in Salvage should be. I haven't touched base with Luca yet, but presumably all is well with his regular visits to Seeker Nereus. I suspect he is growing in ways that only Nereus can teach him, which is especially important considering Luca emerged from the month a little battered by his kidnapping and multiple near-deaths and all that. I can see the shape of that sort of wisdom that Seeker Nereus would offer a young paladin in pursuit of his oath. Perhaps rather than playing coy with us, he'll actually show us what skills he's learnt, but for now, I trust that it's fruitful. And outside of getting in touch with the information underground, N seems to be bringing pieces of their home to Salvage too. Undoubtedly, they are processing much after the month that we've had. The delicious curry they made the other day almost compensates for the multiple times they've startled me over the last few days. First with a stray psychic message from their new magical book, and then with a prank, showing up as Myrildene at my boat the night before my infiltration. I am glad that they are feeling playful, and I am also going to get them back at the earliest. Perhaps our upcoming monster hunting mission will pose an opportunity to do so, assuming Damon is returning from that soon. And after that, well, I suppose that depends on what happens next. On what happens with Myraldine and Varys and Luca and Nereus, what Rhaegar's big scheme is, and what Anne and Kai and Audrey have to say about it, what storms may rise and fall, and what outcomes come to pass. Salvage and Regalport might seem like two separate threads, but they are joined. The fate of one cannot be secured with the other. And as for why it's so important for me to see these threads stitched, well, ask Bruno. He seems to know best.
Cute.
Nice.
Thanks.
So, I believe we pick up following Willow away from the docks of Regalport to the outskirts. Forester's End and the Greenleaf residence.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm so stressed. But yes.
So,
I would like to do a perception check before I get anywhere near there, because
yeah.
N has just told me about a secret stabilizer in the principalities.
Mm-hmm.
Bit nerve-wracking.
Little glowing eyes in the alleyways.
Huh? Is that Warforged eyes?
I was thinking rats, but...
Oh, right. No, they're all caught. Huh?
Blend in, like a true spy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so perception.
Go ahead. Oop.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a meme.
Yeah. But 18 is very good. You do not see anybody overly familiar in the sense of, like, it's a city. You don't see anybody following you or anything like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for too. Especially since I
Yeah.
just busted off that ship.
No.
Damn.
You are pretty sure you were completely undetected. And if there are people watching you from somewhere, they are not making themselves known.
Cool.
So it is unlikely that you will be disturbed, at least at this point.
Okay, then I think I can probably go to the door.
Okay. Yeah. So, you knock on the door of the Greenleaf residence, hear the chatter from inside, and it ends up being a new face that greets you. A young man, honestly about your age, and says, "Oh, hello, can I help you?"
You must be Jacob. Jake. Pardon,
Yes.
I don't remember. Yes. Hi.
Hi. Are you one
Varys.
of... Oh, yes.
Yes.
I believe he's out at the moment.
I see.
There's a field a little ways away. It's the same training field that you met Varys at the other day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He should be there, or you could come inside and have a cup of tea and wait. And I can...
Oh. Sorry, pardon me. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll go find him. You have a nice day. Thank you.
All right. Waves you off. You go and find Varys.
New face anxiety just went, who are you? Leaves. Yes. Cool. Yeah, Willow's going to go back up to where they trained.
Yeah. You see Varys there doing sword drills. Shadow fencing, as it were.
What time of day is it? Like, what's the vibe? I'm feeling wind through grass, but like, what's the? It's very early, isn't it? Because I
Yeah,
just
it
came
is.
straight from the ship.
Yeah, I would say, like, early, slightly before noon.
Of course, at his training time, I should have known. This is when I visited him last time.
Yeah.
Pardon me, but I met Jacob. Is it Jake or Jacob?
It's just Jake.
Jake. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay, I'm going to look at him from afar. What's his vibe? I'll insight check him from a distance.
Go ahead. At the moment, he seems entirely focused on the sword drills in the way that somebody who is putting something off can only be focused.
Oh no, I know that
Much
look.
like, yeah.
Oh, all right. Willow pauses, like in approach. They have that like moment of I could leave, but then it's like I shouldn't. They already just used up all their will to knock on a door, see a new face at Varys's house, and like panic. It's weird because it just came out of like a big victory, but I think the like leftover adrenaline of that victory of successfully.
You're a little jittery. It's the disbelief of like, surely there's a snag.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, here's the snag over
time
there.
to find out. Yep.
Oh my god. Willow like forces. It's like literally one step at a time, trudging up towards Varys.
Mm-hmm. I think he notices you after a moment and stops and waves. I think he meets you halfway. Good morning.
Morning.
Is this a good time to talk?
As good as any.
All right. Come with me. And he leads you a little further away to like under the tree, sort of slightly out of sight from the main pathway.
Really sort of belatedly thinking of things they should have, like, they realized when they were at the residence, like, I can't go in for tea, I didn't bring anything. I just marched straight off Varys's old boat to meet Varys. Anyway, oh well, we're in a park, sits down under a tree. There are, like, such, in the same way that Varys is focusing on swords to avoid the obvious, Willow's like, damn, I should have brought cake to avoid the obvious. Settle.
So once you're out of sight, Varys doesn't sit necessarily, but he does lean against the tree and say, "So, how are you?"
If he's not sitting, I'm not sitting, so Willow will stand in front of him. Shrug. Fine.
Good.
You?
I'm alright. I've had good news, actually, but like I said in my note, we've got much to discuss. He sort of takes a settling breath and then says, "You're sure you wouldn't want to be under Ryger's employ, even to spite Lyrander?"
Willow squints at him. Maybe you'd like to lead with the context.
Varys gives you a look like, please answer the question.
I have no particular interest in working for Ryger. And
Right.
I spite Lyrander on my own terms.
I figured as much. Well, just received news of something quite big underway. You have to swear you won't tell a soul, not even your friends, about this. before I tell you.
Willow nods.
So, there are secret plans in place to start building an industry of independent elemental vessels. And I am to be the test pilot for the program.
How does Varys look?
Excited, honestly.
Fully excited?
Yeah. Like a little bit in that sort of stunned disbelief of like, this is a better outcome than I could have hoped for.
Because I was going to say, I was hoping he doesn't look like, he doesn't have that same sort of tension that he did when he was first talking. It's disbelief.
No, yeah.
Okay.
The tension
Good.
was mostly about like talking to you about it.
Right, yeah. No, okay, there is a long pause because there's a lot that goes through Willow's mind when they hear that.
Yeah.
But the thing that like finally sort of comes out on top of all of that is a smile, a big kind of grin, like a sort of disbelieving grin, but not disbelieving like didn't. They'll just say off the back of their grin. Okay. That's huge.
It is, which is
Varys.
why I had to. I know.
Congratulations. Willow's going to shake his hand, like offer him a handshake.
Yeah, he accepts it and like shakes
Willow's gonna
your
hug him
hand
as
with...
well. Willow's gonna shake his hand and then like sort of go into a hug and then sort of like, you know when you bounce when you hold someone's hand, like sort of like rallying them to be excited.
Yeah.
Yes. Fantastic. Good. That is the perfect role for you. And they're building. Oh, that's perfect. Good.
Yes.
You had me so tense.
Well.
Yes. More to come. But for now, congratulations. Do you like whiskey?
Where's the... It's not even noon. Let's slow down.
Willow pats their pockets and remembers they don't have their pockets of holding and like goes, oh, and then like, and then like shakes their head like, oh, okay, nothing to celebrate with.
We can have a celebration later under a different guise. This is strictly top secret. This is...
Yes, we get the nesting... No, not the nesting. Of course, I can't tell the others. Yes, of course. They would be very happy to know. Everyone would be very happy to know that. But they won't. Of course. Right.
Yes.
Oh. Yes. Good.
Yes.
Unsurprising, but very good. Yes.
Unsurprising.
Of course. Where else were you meant to go?
Anyway, the point being, someone like yourself would obviously be invaluable to that endeavor, but I already know that you have no interest in that. So, that sort of a large thing aside, I'm also aware that the High Prince will make some big announcement at the convocation, and that the Wind Whispers will likely be docking in Regalport in the near future. So,
yeah.
if you have plans to leave, I would make ready to leave soon if you don't want to get caught up in the maelstrom. Things are likely about to get very, very busy around here.
Willow's been like very cheery for Varys, and then they like pause with their hands on their hips, and their grin becomes that kind of like somewhere between a grin and a grit teeth
Yeah.
of like, yeah, they put this together just a second ago and put it aside to congratulate Varys, and now it's like, hey, how are they going to make the galleons? Well, that'd be very useful to have the principality full of stolen galleons, and but around, so Willow's just kind of got that long pause, look into the distance with a big smile, nods like they're getting it. Yes. Ah, you might. Yes. Yeah. And no specific date for the convocation?
It's hard to keep pirates to schedule. But
Yes.
should be happening in the next month or so. High summer.
Month. Awesome. My birthday.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Ah, of course. Yes. Yes. Fate is funny like that. You may end up liaising closely with... Yes.
Likely not. I'm to work more on the background technical side of things. I believe that Ryger is keeping... He's playing his cards close to the chest, as close as he can.
Right, yes, of course.
I believe
Alliance,
there's going to
not
be
that close.
a big distraction of some sort coming in the news.
Willow squints at him. In what sense?
Well, he's not announcing the industry. That would just invite spies and saboteurs.
Willow nods and gestures like Edward, yes.
So, he's got plans for a different big move. That should keep all eyes on him. And not on Regalport, let's say.
Oh, Willow's got like a... Willow puts their hand up. Pardon me. And they're gonna kind of walk for a bit.
Yeah.
Like pace away for a second. I think they actually like the Varys news subsides, their own news kind of gets to them a little bit. They don't want to be in front of him when they kind of like they feel a bit queasy actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they'll do a lap around the tree, just kind of like catch their breath.
Yeah. When you come back around, I think Varys like puts a hand on your shoulder, trying to steady you.
Puts their hand up like, don't worry about it. Yes, well. It's all happening.
Aye.
Trust you don't know anything about this big secret diversion of his?
I know some of it. But honestly, it's nothing you need to be concerned about. Everybody will hear about it sooner rather than later.
I'll keep my ear to the ground. And my eyes on the news. How fortuitous for you.
He sort of gives you a slightly sheepish smile because he knows, like, this is not great news for you, but, like, he can't but be happy about his situation.
Yeah, of course. And Willow didn't even mean that. They're going to sort of hands on their hips again, looking out. You have inside knowledge that even they don't know that you have.
How do you mean?
Me?
Well, Uh, uh, wouldn't presume such a thing.
Wouldn't you?
What? What part of
That
the
was-
whole? I presumed you wouldn't want to share these secrets with anyone. Which is your right, but if you're not going to work for the High Prince, why would you?
What, help you?
I wasn't going to put it in those words.
Of course, you don't need any more assistance, you're Varys Greenleaf, but...
That's not it. That's not it, and you know it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
If you're willing to share your notes, I won't turn them down, but...
In an ideal world, everyone has access to this knowledge. Because
Yes, well,
everyone has integrity. Alas.
well,
Lily just says alas and shrugs.
Harris sort of scratches the side of his beard and says, anyhow, that's my news delivered.
Well, thank you for telling me.
And let me know when you're setting off.
Well, yeah, Willem nods. I believe I'm taking a field trip first.
Why?
And there are a few loose ends to tie up. Yes. But yes, of course, you will be kept in the loop.
He nods. Gives you a clap on the shoulder and then pulls you in for a hug.
Oh.
Just a
what's the
big,
occasion
warm
of this? Oh, okay.
uncle hug. It's kind of a thanks for everything hug.
Hmm.
I wouldn't have been able to be here without you, so thank you for everything. And may the winds ever be in your favor. For whatever value of wind you'd like.
Like mid-hug, starts laughing. Pats him on the back and says, I believe I told you the winds sort of hate me.
Look, there's more than one wind in the world.
Yeah, Willow would just accept a hug for a bit. They're processing all of that.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Before they go, but they'll probably pull away and say, here, and try and hand him back his spyglass.
Oh, thank you.
Does he need that anymore? Mim says.
He holds it and contemplates whether he does, but pockets it for now.
Okay.
Maybe you'll get it back later.
Cool. Mim was hoping so. Okay. I think Willow's probably going to say, well, since you're here, down for another spa?
Certainly. And I think we'll cut away from the scene there and
Yeah.
go back to salvage. Luca, Anne, what are you guys up to today?
Well, today's the day that Damon comes back, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't want to be like standing outside the gold dragon waiting for him to come back, but I certainly have that energy while going about my time at the poppy. Everything I do has the vibe of I am tapping my foot and checking my watch.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there when he comes back, but I do want to intercept him as soon as I can, because
Yeah.
the brain won't shut up.
Yeah, it's I have a call coming in, I have an appointment,
Yeah.
and I cannot do anything else today.
Yeah, and has washed the same plate 3 times.
I think Seeker Elsa spots your tension and sends you to run errands down in the village so that like you have a full shopping list basically and
Get it out
money
of the house.
yeah, it's like you go for a walk, carry some things.
Get it some enrichment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and we'll gladly take on that task.
Yeah. So
Need a little bit of relaxation or distraction.
Something.
and needs the nervous energy out.
Yeah.
Zoomies, but not in a good way or a playful way, in a strung way, like a highly strung way.
like a lion circling its cage.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and I think Seeker Elsa sort of gives Luca a knowing look of like, best to let them get out of the house.
Luca nods like, yeah, don't want to get in the way of that energy.
Yeah. But Luca, I think you're just helping around the Nodding Poppy as is your usual
Yeah,
habit.
so it makes him comfy.
Yeah, give me a medicine check to see how the day is going.
Pretty good.
Ooh.
Yeah, pretty good. You're like, Elsa says, you're really coming into your own. as like somebody that can reliably provide first aid and things like that. So yeah. I think like you handle like a couple of patients on your own because it's like, oh, this is something I can easily tend to with lay on hands or like what you already know. So
I'm reliable lieutenant of healing.
Yeah. Seeker Elsa smiles at you, and in one of the moments where you guys have like a little break between patients, she sort of asks you how things are going, like just catching up with you.
I think overall things are going well.
That's good to hear.
Aside from events on the horizon that I'm trying not to think about as much as possible.
Oh. Well, you don't want to build them up to be too big in your mind and then find out that it's really not that hard in the end.
I think I know it's going to be hard.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Actually, I think I haven't told anyone yet that I think I remembered something new.
Oh?
I've told you that most of my memories come from my dreams
Yes.
for the most part. And they seem to be pretty reliable for the most part. But this was new. I think we were in a stable and I was with someone who I don't know. And they were nice. And Luca looks down and like a little bit embarrassed. They kissed me and I think we were close.
That certainly sounds that way. Elsa puts a hand on your arm and says, "Oh, Luca, that's wonderful. Do you remember any features, or was it more of a feeling?"
They had red hair.
Hmm.
That's about it. They were small. They were short.
Well,
But I think most people are next to us.
that is true. You are a very large man. But
He had small hands. Luca nods like that's the most defining feature.
Well, red hair narrows it down a little bit, and if they were
That's only
with you in a stable, you said, or was it just around horses?
maybe just around horses. Maybe I added the stable afterwards. I was grooming a horse, I think. I think it was a horse.
It probably was a horse. I don't remember Karnath having much in the way of air cavalry. And certainly you're a little bit, she gestures at you, large to be flying. But that's good news. Perhaps they were a fellow officer of yours, or somebody that was close to you.
I hope so. I hope I didn't have strangers kissing me.
I'm sure it was somebody that you knew quite well.
Since things that I can't avoid happening are going to be happening even if I don't want to be thinking about them, I've been thinking about those things.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously thinking about those things more because of remembering things. I'm not making this very clear.
No, I'm afraid I don't follow.
I've been thinking about going back to Karnath, but I've been thinking I don't quite remember what it's like there. I remember what it's like to be in combat situations, but I don't really remember what it's like to live in a place like that, or even just what to expect.
Well, I could tell you a little bit about my childhood in Karnath.
Luca sits up and nods.
Well, I grew up in a village not far from the north coast of Karnath. Tiny little place, a day's walk from the Iceflow River. It was surrounded by forests in the hills, the flat land of the river. Very cold most of the time. We were quite far north. Although perhaps not as far north as some of the other principalities, but snow would fall quite thick, even near the sea. Winters were hard, and you didn't want to go outside of the house when it was cold. But the summers were nice and mild, not too hot, plenty of rain. Honestly, it's a little bit similar to here in Greentarn, although the weather was a bit harsher, I think. Perhaps that's why I've settled down here in Salvage, because it reminds me a little bit of that home I once had. There was a small temple of Seekers there. I ended up joining on with them when I was a teenager. Almost everybody in the village was in attendance then. It was a small place that needed to be quite self-sufficient. Sure, we had some trade with the people who worked the river and all that, but largely it was little farmsteads and things like that. I think my favorite things were nights where we would light big bonfires in the village common and share what food and drink we had. Especially in the lean years when the crops didn't do so well due to the weather or a blight had been going around, it was more important than ever then, I think, to share what we had with each other and be thankful for warm food and good company.
Luca is kind of looking at her fondly as if the feeling of that kind of homeliness is an extension of her, not just a reality, you know? It's kind of more of the same. It sounds like something I can look forward to.
I wouldn't recommend traveling in winter if you can avoid it, though.
I'll keep that in mind. I think maybe Anne wouldn't survive it. It's hot in Shan, right?
Oh, yes, I believe it's tropical, even.
They're not made for it. They're too small.
You'd have to bundle them up quite well.
They get lost in the snow.
Yes, I do not miss shoveling snow. That is a chore I could happily do without.
I could have done it for both of us, I think.
Yes, look at you. You're a regular snowplow. Just send you out with a big shovel and you'd clear a whole path just by walking down the street.
I'd be the favorite in the village.
Oh, absolutely. You are the favorite in the village, aren't you?
I am. No, I think that's Willow. They make things work. I make things fix.
Elsa raises an eyebrow at you. But you're also very friendly and
That's true.
eat very well. Ekka's certainly always happy to see you.
Luca's a little bashful, but he can't deny that. And Thor. Oh, speaking of things I haven't shown people, Luca stands up and nods and gestures to the backyard.
Seeker Elsa follows you curiously.
And I think Luca will lead her into the backyard, put her hands over her eyes, and cast Find Steed.
Oh my gosh. It takes a while as you cast the spell and conjure the ghostly wisps that coagulate and form into the magnificent elk It's different in the daylight. I think this is the first time you've cast this while the sun was out, and you can see, instead of the sort of shimmer of like moonlight coursing through it, it's much more glistening, dewy almost, as you conjure it out of your magic. Like the haze of heat on a summer day, it forms and delicately pulls at the stone pathway that flows through the garden behind the nodding poppy. Elsa, with her hands over her eyes, says, "Oh, is something there?"
Luca takes a second to like find the best pose on like next to the elk. And then he's like, "You can open your eyes now."
Fixes its
She
head.
does, and immediately is like, "Oh, Luca, it's beautiful." Oh, she just like coos and oohs and ahs at this like magnificent, like rose adorned, ghostly elk that you have conjured, with its dark fur and gleaming eyes, standing next to you. Elsa tries to approach it like gingerly, and of course your steed is deeply connected to you and immediately recognizes Elsa as an ally and a friend. And as she
Absolutely.
reaches a hand up to like let it sniff, it gently puts its nose against her hand, and Elsa gives out like a girlish laugh of delight. I don't think you've ever seen her be quite this giddy before. I mean, she is getting to like pet the Prince of the Forest, essentially.
Luca looks at the sun and kind of guesstimates the time and says, "If you want, we could go for a little ride."
Oh my goodness. She doesn't know what to do with herself. Would that be? She asks the elk. Would that be all right with you? Does it have a name?
Not yet. I haven't thought of something that's right. I don't want to give it something that doesn't. It deserves a nice name. And
She nods.
I think Secret Elsa understands that having a
Yes.
name that feels like you is important to Luca.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's not going to do it willy-nilly.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we could do a quick little jaunt.
He'll help her up and
Yeah.
then climb on behind her and I think sprint right out like
Oh my god,
big
yeah.
steps. Yeah.
Yeah. The elk basically just like bounds over the garden wall.
Yes.
And you are off into like the fields and the little forested areas around the like edges of Salvage, and like Elsa lets out a high giddy laugh as you prance along. Anybody who sees you is like sort of stops and stares in wonder as this incredible magical beast bounds down the road and into the fields with two riders astride.
And they're like, "Is that the doctor?" Yeah, that's the feeling.
Yeah. It's an absolutely magical, wondrous time, and Elsa can't stop smiling the entire time.
I think when they slow down a little bit and start like trotting around, Luca gives her like a big hug from behind.
She hugs you back as best she can from her position in front of you, like holding your arms as you embrace her and patting them and saying, "Oh, Luca, this is wonderful."
And all thanks to you. You've given me so much direction, and now I can... Sounds goofy, but I can go fast ahead into it.
Oh. She she like twists in her seat as best she can and like tries to give you a hug properly and like squeezes your hand where it's wrapped around her, and she says, "Oh, my dear boy, you've given me so much joy already. I'm just happy to be a part of your story."
Luca's gonna kiss her face a little bit and then just like cuddle into her hair.
Yeah.
I think he's
Your
a bit
steed.
emotional.
Yeah. As you have this like tender moment atop your steed, the two of you sort of sitting atop the elk gently walks back towards the nodding poppy. And we'll fade out on that scene.
Yeah.
Aw.
Oh my god. We cut to later in the evening.
Oh, damn!
And I think you've done errands and then gone back out again. Make a perception check.
Okay. Middle of the road.
Yeah. Middle of the road. I think you are, like, distracted enough and sort of just, like, walking, doing a lap around the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
When you see a messenger come up to the outside of the nodding poppy.
Uh-huh. I imagine N, like, is coming around to the line. Poppy sees the messenger and, like, halts and ducks behind something and peeks out. What?
Yeah. I think Elsa answers the door and the messenger gives her a note. And she says thank you and they leave.
And watches them go.
Make a stealth check.
You're very much just a tiny little cat.
Yeah, that's
Trying
the
to decide if
vibe.
they want to attack.
Oh my god!
You are so hidden. I don't think.
Eyes tracking the messenger as they walk off.
Yeah.
And then Anne just, like, casually excuses themselves from the shadows.
Yeah, Seeker Elsa does not see you. She goes back inside the house, closes the door.
And we'll go around to the garden. Come through the
Okay.
side door casually. Look at the table. Mail for me?
Hmm.
Where does
Yeah,
Elsa
I
leave
think-
the mail?
I think
Scrambles.
I think you walk in and like you overhear Elsa saying to Luca, there's a message. That gentleman, the Mr. Ardantego, has just returned and I suppose wanted to let you guys know that he's returned to town. You worked for him briefly, right?
I think Anne's starting to, like, back out of the doorway, trying to leave without anyone noticing that they came
Wait,
in.
can I make a perception?
Oh my god.
Should I make another stealth check?
Go ahead.
Damn it.
I might trip over something.
Yeah, give me that crit.
Absolutely not.
And it's Homer Simpson back into the bush.
Yeah. You are gone. you distantly. I think we distantly hear like as N is leaving. It's like, I wonder where N is.
Jumping the fence.
and Luca saying something to the effect of like, "Oh, they'll be back for dinner."
Leaves just bursting up into the air.
And then we cut to, I think, you being at the Gold Dragon in Salvage.
Yep.
Good luck.
Deep breaths.
Yeah.
Casual. This is fine. So I will go in and I will ask for Damon, like I did the first time I came here.
Yeah.
For these purposes.
Yeah. Yeah, you get sent up to his room, and I imagine you knock on the door.
Yep.
You hear a voice from inside go, "Who is it?"
Take a wild guess.
Ah. The door opens up, and you can see Damon is still, like, unpacking his sort of camping bag.
And leans a bit to look. The bad time?
Nope. Just wondering which one of you would get here first, but hey, message is on the table over there for you.
And like
It's
looks
just
at it
ascending.
before they can
Yeah.
control the direction of their eyes.
It's just ascending, so
Yeah, of course.
pretty short, but
Should get the job done.
Yeah, he motions over to you to see it, and there is a note on there for you. I will paste it into your secrets so that you can read it for yourself.
Oh, it's just open, huh? There's no envelope.
Nope, it's a telegram.
Cool.
See.
I think and like walks up to it, sees the like they didn't know what they were expecting, but an open letter to you, N. They register that they can see, like they pick it up and they register that they can see words, and they kind of immediately fold it, like, oh god, I saw words. So I think N's just gonna actually pocket that, and I'll look at my secrets when N actually comprehends what's on there, because I don't think they're gonna do it in this room in front of Damon.
I think I want a night to settle in, but when you see the others, let them know that I've got a monster hunt for us.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'd ask how that's going, or how that went. But I assume that would probably be a better as a group affair.
Yeah, less chance for miscommunication. So, if you have time tomorrow or the day after, come on down and we'll discuss.
Sure thing. I bet they'll be eager to get that all sorted out, so... Just figured I'd make our little secret correspondence easy on ya.
He nods.
Thanks
Hope
for
it's
this.
the news you wanted to see.
Fingers crossed. Might be back.
He gives you a little salute. See ya.
Yep. See you later.
And then you leave.
And then I leave. With my pocket way heavier than it was getting there.
Mm-hmm. How long does it take for N to open it up and read?
God, I don't know. Is Willow home yet?
I think Willow's been home for a while.
I don't know. Like...
It's evening
Yeah.
now, so...
Yeah, no, probably. Sparred with Varys. Probably walked home the long way.
Because it might
think they're
swing
probably
by
sitting-
the boat.
Yeah, I think they're probably sitting out on their boat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear back from Geraldine.
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think Willow's sitting outside their boat.
Yeah, well, En's not going to try and sneak up on you or play any dirty little tricks. They're just gonna show up.
It's like, I would say 5 p.m.-ish.
Hmm.
A little before dinner, but like late enough in the day that it would be evening if the sun was setting, and it is not for another few hours.
Hmm.
Northern Hemisphere summers.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Willow probably sees En coming, unless Willow is like Star Touch wandering.
My back's probably to the dock, and I'm just looking out at the ocean. So you'll need to announce yourself, unless I can do a perception check.
Perception.
I'm pretty deep in thought.
Yeah, make a perception check.
Yeah,
Your passive perception is decent.
Yeah.
you got those
I'll
ears.
say Fish Dog might be keeping out a lookout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Nah. And you have to knock.
And knocks on the like dock where they climb
Yeah.
aboard.
Knocks on the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Willow seems very distracted and looks over at you.
Ooh. I was gonna say it's good to see you came back in one piece, but... And knocks on their head. How you doing?
Oh. Yes, good. I think
Look
Willow
at
would
us.
have... Look at us. Genuinely, I forgot to come back and tell you guys that I was okay. That was like the first thing I was going to do when I came back. But like, I don't actually think Willow remembered to. I
No.
think they just
Yeah.
wandered back to their boat
That's why
and
En's...
sat there.
That's why En's here.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Willow was... Sorry, I thought I did. I thought I came in. Anyway, it was a success. Yes, I got... Yes. Good. I was not caught.
Alright, that's a good
Sorry for
start.
not saying so. I just walked right past it.
If I was really worried, I could have contacted you and drums their fingers on their book, but I didn't want to blow your
Yes.
cover. I know these kind of things can
Yeah.
be all-day affairs. Oh.
Yes. I hope no one was... Anyway, yes, I'm fine. Thank you. I'll look at you properly now.
Did you learn something?
I'm checking N's vibes.
They're
Oh
fine.
my god.
They're chill.
Okay.
They're a bit worried about you, but...
Willow will say... Did N say, did I learn something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forefront of Willow's mind's like, yes! But in the background, the Miraldine thing. Oh, yes, I have a encrypted letter that I need to break. I should get to that.
Oh,
now,
interesting.
actually. After you leave, or while you're idle.
Oh, is
How
it
about
secret?
you?
I'm not bad with
Well,
encrypted
secret
notes.
from me, even. Yeah,
I mean, it's been a
that's a good
while,
point.
but I could take a crack at it.
Sure, Willow will hand it to you.
Then we'll look at it
If-
and... Like, okay, yes, they've seen recipe encryptions before. Obviously not this specific one, but they are familiar with this style of hiding information.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is something that I'd have to sit down with.
Yes. Willow can take it back for now.
Interesting.
mm.
That was just in her stuff?
Considering
Concealed.
this is like I will remind you, this is a little printout from
Yeah.
like Fish Dog transcribing. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I assume N means like where I found it.
Yeah, where you saw the encryption.
Yeah. Willow would just say concealed.
Right. She was hiding it. It's not something she's just leaving out in her quarters for the crew to all see. Doesn't necessarily mean the crew
No.
isn't in on it, but it does mean any visitors won't see it.
Yes, it was concealed enough that I had to pry for it, and it was hidden among love letters. So I won't speculate on it until I've read it. I
Of
just haven't had a
course.
chance to look at it yet.
Only been a day. Is that all you found?
More or less.
So what's the plan now? Just decode this note and work from there?
Mm.
And seems a little like squints a bit at you. That's it?
Thus far. I think Willow's not thinking of telling you about Sending Stone, not because they're like hiding it, they just kind of forgot. They're not-
Yeah.
Well, maybe they have forgotten because when they are reminded, it'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and En's
But-
feeling like there's something missing here, and they don't know what it is. They just notice how
Yeah.
spacey Willow is and feel like they're not getting the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want to get started on this then?
Sure. Actually,
Okay.
Willow's going to make tea first. They'll leave En with it at their table while they
Mhm.
make tea and sort of putter around. I think they're fried mentally a little,
Yeah.
so they're kind of happy to delegate that to you for now. They'll make beverage while you do that.
Okay.
Slap the rest of the cassava chips on the table for you to eat.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well. Okay, in that case, Willow, are you assisting in any way?
Are the chips
Yeah.
a form of assistance?
the moral support.
The tea?
The tea and
Focus.
chips and look. I'll probably
Nope, that's-
I'll probably look at it once I'm sitting.
Yeah,
but
En's probably gonna
Willow's
talk
like-
as they're like working,
Mhm.
so like anything they
Mhm.
say, Willow can comment back on and kind of
Yeah.
act as
Yeah.
a rubber ducky at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, Willow would
Okay.
sit and sort of just read. So yeah, I'll help En.
Okay. In which case, N, roll me an investigation check with advantage.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, hey.
Okay. You make a decent start on it. You can tell that this is going to take a while, like several hours, to decrypt, because it's got a few layers to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you feel confident that, like, if you just sit down and like work through it, you will be able to decrypt the message despite not having any kind of cipher.
Yeah, I think En's making a lot of notes as they like figure
Yeah.
out how to parse this. So Willow will definitely
Yeah.
have those notes, and we'll leave those with Willow even though we're
Yeah.
probably not gonna get through this tonight, but En's gonna make plenty of
Yeah.
documentation for this.
Yeah.
Endeavor.
So you've made a decent start of it.
Mm.
And we'll probably also mention, like, as we're winding down from that our brains are starting to ache.
Hmm.
We have to put it aside. Damon's back, by the way.
Oh, good. So he wasn't eaten by a monster.
Apparently not. Got a note at the Nodding Poppy.
Hmm.
I'm assuming it's not another undesirable in disguise, then yes.
I doubt he'd pick one of those for us. He doesn't seem to like them very much himself.
We've already proven we're pretty good at dealing with them.
Who knows? I won't pretend to have the answers to that one as yet. I assume that we'll be brought in for a debrief soon.
I'd imagine so. That's kind of a team effort deal.
Hmm. Good. Tomorrow, I assume.
And shrugs. Fine with me. I don't have any plans.
Hmm.
Well, unless contact gets in contact, but it's only been a few days.
Willie nods. Gosh. Didn't even mean to be this spacey. They just kind of like, woo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you wanna come by for dinner?
I'm not that hungry. I think I'll probably just spend the night looking at this. Or sleeping early.
They don't seem okay, but are they okay to be left alone?
0.
Why does this always happen? Oh my god. It's so accurate though.
Yeah.
It's so accurate. I'm not very persuasive.
No.
No. Especially when you are fully checked out.
Yeah.
You are so occupied by something else. So, what does N see in your space case?
Your excuse. Your-
Other than just like buffering over big information.
Yeah.
You can tell at least that it's not related to the Miraldine or the break.
Yeah. And it's getting that
Yeah.
impression quite a bit. Especially on a 0.
Yeah. Now Willow got other news that is distracting them from even this, where
Yeah.
it's kind of like the Miraldine news is important, and there's that background knowledge that there is like drive to figure out what happened, or what's happening, or what's going to happen, but like it's been rerouted by something else. It's been kind of kicked aside by something that's kind of capturing more of their attention, and it's the kind of attention that's leaving Willow a bit like sick in the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And there's kind of like that I don't know. All I'm just getting is like I'm imagining their walk home was like the sort of walk where, you know, when your eyes get like glassy without meaning to, like you're not even sure why. It's like the excitement of the adrenaline of the infiltration and the excitement of like whatever else happened has waned the closer they've gotten home, and then they've just kind of gotten home and they're just sitting there with the weight on them.
Yeah.
The weight of revelations or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much an anchor anymore.
Nope.
Kind of
Willow
heavy.
is
They feel like they're sinking.
Adrift.
Yeah.
And I think one of the main things N is also looking for is like, does Willow want to be alone, or should I keep pushing to keep them company?
I don't know, Zeke.
Does Willow even know what they want?
No.
I don't think Willow does.
Okay.
necessarily.
How about
I think it
psychologically? No, forget what Willow wants.
Yeah.
Well, what Zeke or Elsa tell you to do?
I think Willow does need alone time, but not too much of it. So it might be a thing of like, come back later.
Like later in the evening?
Yeah, maybe.
Bring dinner.
Yeah.
Come back in a few hours to give them like a little checkup. Or send them a message a few hours later. See if they need anything. Company or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you think on like a 16 versus a 0, you think Willow just like is processing a lot, and they're not necessarily in need of conversational company, but it'll be good to keep an eye on them to make sure they're not like falling into a pit later.
But they're not like, as soon as I walk out that door, they're going to have a
No, no,
breakdown. kind of energy.
No.
If they do have a
It's-
breakdown, it's the kind of breakdown they need to have alone. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like we'll see. I don't know. They're just kind
Yeah.
of up in the air at the moment.
Yeah.
I, Mim, as a player, am just up in the air at the moment too. So I'm
Yeah.
like, just waiting for Willow to land in some way or another.
Yep.
And like, sorry for the timing.
No. That's how it happens.
Yeah. Well, after giving Willow a long side eye, and we'll nod and kind of gather up their notes and slide them closer to Willow. Well, just because you're not hungry doesn't mean I don't need to help out in the kitchen, so I should probably see myself out.
Willow nods. They're a bit awkward. They feel bad, like they've been a bad host, but they're yeah, they'll nod. Maybe I'll see you. Yeah, okay.
And nods.
Thank you for visiting.
Yeah, thank you
I
for
can't
coming
remember
back
why N
alive.
came here. Why did N come here? Oh, right.
Does thank you for coming back alive help?
Yeah. Yes. Likewise.
And I think
everyone. Yeah. Well, it bids you adieu, feeling a bit awkward.
Yep, and just smiles and gives a wave and sees themselves out. So I think they, like,
Yeah.
after they make some distance from the boat, they stop and peer back, holding onto the strap of their book and stare at the boat at a distance.
Me.
With an open look of concern on their face.
I think when you leave, Willow's going to, like, they're looking at the encrypted note. They know that they can start working on it. They're going to put it aside for now for, like, they're going to open up another notebook. Yeah, Willow has just, like, a abundance of random notebooks that they've collected over the time. You guys helped organize them. They're going to find a random one and flip open to a page and sort of start writing notes. But, like, one of the notes necessitates them pulling up their sleeve and looking at their shoulder, like, sort of over their shoulder blade. And they start sort of sketching something. But as they start sketching that thing, I do think Willow's starting to, like, get emotional. Yeah. Like, they've started sketching this out on this page, knowing that, you know, I told Varys I'd give him notes. I'm going to give him notes. But then they've, like, done it too fast. They're starting to sketch things out and they're getting, like, in their feelings about it. So yeah, I think you do get that little shot of Willow starting to write or sketch and then, like, sort of pushing their palm against their eyes and then continuing.
Yeah.
And then after some time, just, like, giving up on it and being like, no, nah, it's not the time. They're going to probably go lie down.
Yeah. I think about an hour or two later, close to 7 p.m., you feel the buzz of the sending stone in your pocket, and you hear the voice of Meraldine Frostroot in your mind. She says, "You have me at a disadvantage, Gil. What exactly do you want from my humble self? Perhaps we could meet in person to discuss."
Everything happens so much.
Willow's lying in bed like, I just need a nap. Wakes up from nap to the sound of Meraldine's voice. Like, gah. But, like, not like as big a startle anymore. Thank you, Anne. You have somewhat prepared me for the feeling and the sound of, like,
method works.
Impending. Yeah, impending stuff. But also because I think the sending stone is connected to my magic, it doesn't startle me as much.
Yeah.
But it's more like or at all, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's still like a surprise. It's still unexpected, but it's less shocking.
Yeah. I don't have to respond right away, right?
No, you can take your time to compose a message.
Yeah. Okay. I think Willow's going to, like, open their eyes, hearing that, like, a little flinch, and then close their eyes and just, like, rest on it, facing their pillow for a bit.
Instead of focusing the camera on Willow, we will focus on N. How long does it take N to read that?
And I roll a wisdom save or something.
Yes.
Okay.
I think you muster up the courage soon after dinner.
Yeah. I think, like, En's probably suggested to Luca that they stop by and drop some food off to Willow later in the evening. But yeah, after their long day out and running around, they'll just be like, I'll just go and freshen up before we head out again. Just some arbitrary excuse to part ways from Luca and go into their room and be alone.
Can I make a sneaky little insight check on?
Yeah, go ahead.
You may.
And as they go away,
You may.
You may. Bad. I'm gonna try and deceive that.
deception.
Oh damn!
Damn it!
I'm in this.
My gosh.
I am in the
You do not want to
zone.
be deceived.
The more stressed N gets, the better they get at hiding it sometimes.
Yeah.
Got their game face on. Oh, game
They're
face.
calm. They're cool. They're calm. They're cool.
I believe you.
Yeah, it's a poker face. It's a poker face. The fucking poker face.
You sound okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Okay.
Luca makes a basket for Willer while
Yeah.
N
Does
goes
that.
away.
Yeah. Then, like, pulls the folded note out of their pocket and looks at it, still folded, but gives it a look like, you can't hurt me. You're not real and you can't hurt me.
It's
a
just news.
square.
It's just words on paper.
Just
How bad could it be?
It's just
You've already imagined the worst possible.
Yep. Just get it out like ripping off a bandage.
Technically speaking, taking off a bandage shouldn't hurt.
Yeah, that's a nice fairy tale you live in, Luca. Alright, so, and we'll, like, with a flick of their wrist, spread out the paper and slam it down on their desk with, like, both hands on either side of it, so it can't, like, curl in on itself, and N can't curl it in either.
Yep.
Alright. And, like, closes their eyes, opens them, you will read, and you will process this information.
Read it out loud.
Yeah. Business. Keen Whistle Casino. Owner, Neve Keen Whistle. Status, lively. Needs some repairs. Owner, in center of Love Polygon. No overt danger. On surface, Risha. Risha, I assume, is the name of the contact?
Yes.
Fran just like sinks down into their seat and lays their head on their desk, just docks their forehead into the table. Not a burnt husk. Not a different establishment. The same fucking casino. And eventually manages to lift their head and look at the paper again and draw a finger over the name Neve Keen Whistle. They haven't even been able to write that name in their journal. They haven't seen it written down in years. And they follow their finger down to the second line. They kind of furrow their brow at the need of repairs, but not terribly alarming on the surface. And then their finger goes across the center of Love Polygon. Of course they are. That's... It's like, is that good news? Wait. Again, this is all surface information.
Yeah.
And N has spent so long theorizing what even happened to the casino itself, or Neve, and now, like, okay, Neve's there, casino's there, now there's more things to speculate on, but the baseline is established, and it's not death and destruction, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at some point N just takes the note and presses it against their chest. Closest thing they can get to a hug right now. I think there's tears in their eyes too. They just try
I
and
have arms.
breathe.
hug you.
And you don't know about this. Just trying to breathe and hold the paper tight against their chest. They're alive. They're alive. I have no idea what to do about it, but they're alive.
The
And then
door
I
still
think,
exists.
yeah,
It's to be opened.
I think, and crunches the note up into a ball, thinking once again about the final line, and hurls it against the wall in a kind of playful way. And then we'll eventually go and fetch it and spread it out again. I kind of like it better with the wrinkles.
Yeah.
I'll neatly fold that up and tuck it somewhere where it won't get lost. Just somewhere they can look at it again in case they get worried that this isn't real, that they dreamed up the note. Oh,
Tuck it into the pages of your tome.
yeah.
Safest place you know.
Alright, well, if that's sorted, that's something else to attend to. And his hand just kind of stays over the book in the area where they've tucked the page for a moment as they get themselves equipped to head out. Clean themselves up. Get ready to go meet Luca to go meet Willow.
Did you not just want to message me?
I don't know if you'd respond. Or
Well-
want that.
As they're heading down, let's cut back to Willow. You've had some time to compose your message to Meraldine.
I have. I think before Willow is even able to think about that message, they're going to have to get some of their other things in line first.
Fair enough.
So I do imagine, like, once they force themselves up from their little pseudo nap,
Mhm.
more just like a avoiding your problems with your face in your pillow kind of
Mhm.
nap-ish. They're gonna sort of pace around their table. They've got their notebook open where they've started writing notes for Varys before the weight of that started weighing on them.
Mhm.
Chessboard's out. The message, yet unencrypted, still there. Decrypted, that's the word.
Mhm.
I think Willow's going to need to process what Varys said before they actually get back to Miraldine.
Mhm.
And I think part of processing that is the arrangement of the chessboard. We have all of the friends represented. Willow only uses the pawns
Mhm.
in this case. And there is a notable little move of one of them, which we know will represent Varys, is moved towards Rhaegar.
Mhm.
Willow has since placed contact on the board next to Kai, who is a different piece than N, who is of course
Mhm.
beside Luca. And just this little arrangement of Willow going through all the pieces of the board and who they represent before finally, at the end, picking up a new one from the side of the board
Mhm.
and placing it on the furthest corner, closest to Rhaegar, and just landing that on the edge of the chessboard. And I feel that lands with the weight of the boom of thunder, that kind of weight.
Mhm.
Willow's gonna look at that for a bit and process what that means before finally flipping open the pocket watch. It's not even a pocket watch, it looks like a pocket watch.
Mm-hmm.
that they've since connected on a chain, so it's attached like a pocket watch too.
Mm-hmm.
Going to pull it out of their pocket, chuck on the gill mask, and respond. In this case, the
Mm-hmm.
the way it looks, I imagine, is like, so it's like a little polished stone, polished almost to be shiny inside this pocket watch casing, and it's when Willow like presses it down, the sort of like idle glow in it settles back down to just the stone color, so like to almost black, grayish black. But then as they speak, it's like in the same way that Fish Dog uses a timer that has pie wedges, it like counts up until the point where the whole thing is full of blue, or if you only send a partial message, it'll only send like a little bit. But yeah, so as Willow's speaking, this kind of like little pie chart filling out in the screen of it. And Willow says,
The power is still very much in your hands, Captain. And your secrets, too. Rest assured, I have no ill intent. Keep in touch.
You send that message. And that's it for the day. Miraldine can't reply until the next day.
yep. Yeah. Yeah, Willow's just gonna probably chill for the rest of the night. Not chill, sorry. They're going to... I don't know what they're doing. Sitting at their table, looking at their board. That new piece on it.
When do Luca and N come over? With a picnic dinner.
A little while after dinner at the Poppy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So later into the evening. Might be dim or
Yeah.
dark out.
Yeah.
But we know our way around.
Around 8-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. Knock knock?
Mm-hmm.
Do a perception check first, since you've got me on edge.
You can hear Willow's. You can hear Luca's boobs.
Yeah, granted, I hope so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Luca are here.
Willow's going to close the Varys notebook
Mm-hmm.
and sort of tuck that under their other book before answering the door.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine
Those
Luca's
two are
there
here.
with
Yeah.
a bag or a container.
Big basket, probably.
With a basket.
Yeah.
Willow's going to look at you. Bit late for a picnic, isn't it?
You've never taken
don't
a
think there's a-
picnic under the stars?
Yeah, I don't think there's a time limit on picnics. Or a recommended location. You can have a picnic in your bedroom.
What
Very
do
true.
I smell of the food?
Yeah. What do we cook today, Zeke? Get us
I
hungry.
think
I don't know.
I think that Luca has made like a nice set of leftover sandwiches out of like some leftover roast chicken or something like that. Bit of salad on the side.
I think Willow doesn't, because obviously I don't see anything. But yeah, I also think that Willow's like, at the sight of, or at the promise of food, Willow's tummy's gonna rumble like they clearly haven't eaten.
Yeah.
It's like, so they can't deny you guys now. They're going to let you guys in. Oh, actually, rather under the stars, Willow's
Yeah.
going to nod at you guys that we go out
Oh,
Yeah.
instead at the front of the boat, and
Nice
Willow will
Warm summer evening?
probably
Yeah.
Willow will probably go put the kettle on instead and have you guys outside so that you're not seeing my everything, but also so I can get some air, so I'm not sitting
Yeah.
here brooding. Okay.
Yeah. If Fish Dog feels like providing some light for Luca and might I might start teaching him the dice game they taught Willow the other day.
Ah,
I got something better, actually, if Luca wants to, Yeah, actually. I think
light?
if we sit outside and it's getting dark and Luca
Mhm.
is clearly, like, straining against the night to see.
He's
Quincy
only
thinks
human
that's
after
gonna
all.
work.
Yeah.
Only
I wouldn't put my blame on him, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Willow's going to produce a pair of glasses from their pocket and just hand them to you.
There's no sun out.
explanation. Hold on, can I do this? Is this the same day I broke into the Silver Dancer?
Yes.
This is the same day you broke into the Silver Dancer. Do you have another second level spell slot?
I used invisibility and I used... Did I use anything else?
I don't think
I don't think you did.
No, you
I
were on
didn't.
top.
Yeah.
I didn't do any magic there. I don't think I
No.
did. So I think I have one spell slot yet left. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm going to hand you a pair of glasses.
There's no sun out.
En's gonna put them
Yeah,
on Luca. En's gonna take them out of Willow's hand and put them on Luca because, like, I trust this is not what it seems, but Luca gets to be the guinea pig because that's who you're handing it to.
It's also the glasses that you tried on at the drinks with Brina, the ones that suited you best.
My Clark Kent style glasses.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah. And Willow casts Dark Vision, using the glasses as, like, the focus. So basically, while you wear this gadget, you are under the effects of the spell Dark Vision.
Luca makes that very big ooh.
Yeah.
He starts looking around at everything he can see.
Oh, now he'll never focus on the game. En says, giving a fond smirk to Willow.
Luca, make an intelligence check.
Yep. Hey, not too bad.
Hey!
You're like, oh, this is familiar. You know the spell, actually.
From
Because military service, if you ever needed to do night excursions,
Yeah.
if you ever needed to move the troops at night, then yeah, Dark Vision would be one of those things that was available because it would be smartest to have that possible.
Yeah.
Do you remember it in, like, maybe potion or scroll form?
Yeah. Never like this.
Can I imagine Luca, like, putting them up to his eyes, taking them up, putting them up, taking them up, putting them up.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
You know
was
where you
gonna
put your
say,
fingers
you'll give-
behind your ears and like press down on the
Wiggle.
arms of the glasses really quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wiggle.
Yeah. Willow's going to say, you'll give yourself a headache. Just try and keep them on.
Is this how you see all the time?
Yes.
Oh.
It won't last all day, but it will last as long as, well,
Well, last all night.
darkest night.
Night, yeah.
So-
It won't work during the day, I don't think.
Well, you could be in a cave. But
Or a borrow.
Oh. Luca is still looking around.
enjoy that. Willow's going to sort of return to the game with En. They're familiar with this.
Yeah.
Oh, eat. Luca pushes the food towards Willow.
Oh, trust I
I can
assume
tell
you
they
were
haven't
already-
eaten.
Willow's
Yeah.
eating in front.
Yeah.
Trust I thought we were already, like, sandwiching
Okay,
hands
good,
while I give
good.
you-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, in that case, I'm going to do a sneaky little insight check on Willow's vibes.
Oh,
Emotional vibes.
come on.
13?
Let me
might as
find
well
my
too.
way.
God damn it,
Whoops.
the one time Willow rolls well.
Wow.
Well.
I think En has the experience of knowing that earlier it was a bit wonky because I am actually convincingly okay now. Like,
Yeah.
but I'm obviously still in thought. I think En can still see that Willow's like a bit low energy,
Yeah.
and they've still got a lot on their mind.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Did
It's
we-
not gonna go away.
Did we know that Willow was committing crimes today?
Yes.
Or was
Yep.
that... Yeah, okay. Luca will ask how it went.
Willow will pretty much say the same thing they said to N. But though they might add this time that I left a sending stone with her and she messaged me. I messaged her back just then.
Oh, how dead are you then? And gives like a playful grin.
Not very. She wants to meet in person, but that doesn't seem wise at the moment, so I'll let her cool off.
Yeah, maybe
You have a sending
feel out
stone?
the situation.
Oh yes, as of recently, after N's little
Oh yeah.
Willow gestures at your book.
And gives a little proud smile and taps their book.
It's not as robust, but it functions differently.
Hey, not everybody has a weird eyeball that gives them weird powers. You gotta make do.
Indeed.
Luca looks like he wants to say something, but doesn't.
So you just
I don't have a fun way to send messages.
sounds like we need to get this man a carrier pigeon.
You have the benefit of just being able to talk to people, so be grateful for that one.
You have a certain degree of charisma. So you just deliver yourself. And that's the fun way you deliver messages. By appearing on people's doorstep and winning them over. Your prized smile.
You've been talking to Secret Elsa?
Sometimes. You know, we cross paths in the poppy, and sometimes we exchange words.
And you only ever talk about me, I assume.
Oh, of course.
Mm.
It's just Luca Carnson gossip day in and day out at that place.
Speaking of, do you have any more appointments with the vampire? Sorry, that came out rude. Seekin Reyes.
Nothing scheduled, but I think I will see him a little bit more before we leave. Last one went very well, so he was satisfied with my training.
Oh. You impressed your teacher, huh? Doing that a lot these days.
Luca grins like, yeah, I think I did.
Oh, with any luck, we'll see that in action pretty soon.
Luca nods like, yeah, that's the point. I will be actioned. I will make actions. I will do actions.
Not that I want you getting in a fight, but we do have a fight lined up, so... A
We
leads
have
to
a
B.
fight lined up?
Didn't Elsa tell you?
Oh, right.
So, me and Willow were thinking we might touch base with him.
Wait, how do you know that? Did
Oh,
we
Elsa
tell you?
told me.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, we gossip.
Yeah. No, not about anyone else.
Well, sometimes when the news is important. But trust me, it doesn't cut into our Luca time.
Okay.
Yeah, we were thinking maybe stopping by, chatting with him about his whole excursion into the wilderness of Green Tarn and see what we've got lined up, what the plans are. Unless anyone has any objections.
Willow shakes their head. They're the ones that suggested it.
Yeah. Anne's looking at Luca's silence.
Luca's looking at Willow. So,
Why?
I guess not.
Oh. and like looks like their eyes slide over to Willow like, oh, I think I see what's happened here.
I'm eating. I'm just eating, like looking and playing with dice. Well, I don't know what you guys what conclusions you guys are coming to.
I think part of N's dice game involves stacking dice. I've been reading up about dice games, and I need to figure out how to hybrid this into something that I like. But it's like it's supposed to emulate the Towers of Sharn, stacking the dice into little towers, and the way you play the game helps build your tower. So there's something that involved. So focus on building your tower and eating your snacks well.
Okay. Focus on my stats and snacks. Got it.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure this meeting will go better than the last one.
Willow now flinches and looks at you both.
Luca's looking at his lunch. Dinner. After dinner. Second breakfasts.
Willow, first time I think that I've thought about this. Did you continue? Oh, you did.
But we didn't walk out with you, so...
Yes. Right, yes, and you told him to... I didn't say thank you for that. Well read. Well, it goes back to eating, and for anyone who... Oh, does Luca even know what I'm talking about?
No, Luca doesn't even realize you were talking to him.
I was clearly looking at you.
Yeah, I think
I
Ed
said
will,
thank you.
will elbow Luca. I said,
Oh,
you're good
Me?
with emotions. You're the one who talked Damon down from doing digging.
hmm.
Give yourself some credit.
I make a check on Willow to see if they, like, actually care about that. If I read that right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah?
Use your big juicy
Use your brain.
There we
Okay,
go.
yeah.
Fucking thank God.
Yay!
Yes.
Finally. Nat
Yes.
20, what does Luca see?
Oh, finally.
What do my
That
gay
meant
eye...
so-
Well, I got night vision. I can see
Yes,
everything
you
now.
There we go.
Yes,
That
you
explains
did,
it.
including little flickies and Willow's ears. They are genuinely very, very grateful that you told Damon not to look into their past. They were touched to hear it when Damon said it to them. They were a bit shocked to hear it, actually. But they are incredibly... They genuinely feel bad for not having thanked you for it earlier. It meant a lot to them.
Okay.
And it kind of even means even more to them now after the day they've had. That, like, you know, receiving news... looks at N. Receiving news from home makes everything a lot harder, and they're already struggling to process something that is on their plate. They can't imagine doing this now with, like, Damon also looming on the horizon and, like, the fate of Dallybrook and all of that, so they're genuinely incredibly grateful.
Okay. Cool. Good. Read that right.
Yeah, that's what N's saying.
Oh, you know what? For your 20, I'm going to give you a bonus one.
Yeah.
Willow, no, I'm going to say that I hope Luca understands at this stage that despite how flippant Willow sounds, that doesn't always connect with how grateful they actually are.
Mm. Luke
And how much
is
significance
starting
they
to
put in
that
saying
together.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
please. I beg. You have made their
You're
life
starting
a little
to
bit
get
easier.
you're starting to get a better read on like how Willow
functions. Yeah.
expresses emotion or doesn't.
Yes.
Or does while
Trans-
not.
Yeah, and chances are that, like, giving you those glasses, it's a niceness. It's part of a thank you, you know? The thank you is
Mhm.
always decking you
Yeah.
out with cool shit. So,
Yeah.
on your 20, you feel appreciated, I hope.
Yeah.
How much weight can a boat carry?
Depends on the
Right,
boat.
depends on the boat, Willow says at the same
Yeah.
time as he...
Well, how much does this one carry?
I mean, look. It can
Yeah.
hold up to 7 people total, 3 crew, 4 passengers, and the cargo capacity is 0.5 tons,
Okay.
Okay.
which
Willow will
is
explain that too.
yeah,
Hmm. Luca
it's
is
a
considering
U.S.
something.
ton. Oh, it's a U.S. ton. That's
Of course
way
it is.
more.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
It's 4,500 kilograms.
What?
Ah.
Why would we have the same word? Wait, is one of them ton with an E and the other one is ton?
TON?
Yes.
Yeah,
No, the main difference is one is metric and one is imperial.
yeah.
But it's the same word!
I know.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know
Just,
why.
just to fuck with
You know what? Yeah, Willow's going to put it to you in whatever makes sense in Eberron.
Yeah.
In a cargo-friendly way.
Hmm.
It's the average weight of an elephant.
So we can put one elephant onto the boat.
Yes.
I would like to formally request we have to transport an elephant for a mission at some point. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, you can. It can hold one elephant.
Where's my elephant?
All right, cool. Yeah, Willow's explaining that to you. I think Willow will kind of measure it out. Like, they'll be talking about like how many crew versus how
specifically
many color.
one Asian elephant,
Ah, I see.
Not
an
me.
Indian elephant, but not an African elephant, which is much bigger.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
A pet-sized elephant.
Well, nevertheless, Willow was explaining this to you in terms of things that you can like comprehend.
Yeah. Luke
But
is
in a
looking
boat
over the deck
sail
like
away.
he's considering something, but he doesn't want to break your boat, so he'll just lay off for now.
You can definitely, I will say, you can definitely put your elk on the boat in terms of weight. It will not sink.
Yes.
You can.
I don't think
hold
Luca
your
realizes
horses,
that
as
very
it
well.
were. That's fine. Fucking save it, you asshole. Whatever.
You can also just put it down on the beach. You could put it on the dock.
Yeah, the beach.
It's fine.
The dock's right there.
I know, but will that make Willow feel good?
Don't do it based on me because
I
my
know.
feelings are all over the place.
I know. I have a question though. Can I summon it underneath me and then immediately be mounted?
No.
No.
I had to think about that, but no, you do have to.
I have to take the mount action.
Yes. You do have
Okay.
to use movement to mount it.
Are you going to tell us the details of your daring heist that wasn't a heist? Did you steal
I
things?
already told you. I know the information.
Did you give us...
Really, I left her with more treasures than I stole.
That seems like the opposite of a pirate.
Willow rolls her eyes.
What did you get up to today, Anne? Aside from talking about me, obviously.
Obviously. Oh, between that busy schedule, I was also busy picking up half the stock for the poppy, as you might recall.
I do.
That took most of the day. And then I did swing by Willow's place to see if they were alive, considering that they were going to sneak aboard a sea dragon ship, and there was every chance that they'd come back with a few extra piercings. But evidently that wasn't the case, so we sat around, we tried to decrypt that note. Hey, you want to show it to Luca? Maybe something will snap in that brain of his.
Oh, sure, let me get it. Willow will go back inside, come back out with it. Show it to Luca.
Make an investigation check, Luca.
Do your fucking best, big boy. Yeah!
This is a weird recipe.
I don't think this would taste very good. There's too much salt and one potato. I don't think that's...
Yeah, see, that's what we're trying to decrypt. How to make this
Indeed.
into a tasty recipe.
I can help with that.
Yeah, cook it up. Whatever you come up with, cook it up, and then Willow, you take that to Meraldine when you go visit her.
Yes,
Yeah,
of course. Perfect.
That's the whole plan. This is how we'll win her over.
Indeed.
Why are we winning her over if she's a traitor?
Depends what sort of trader.
You really don't know what a long con is, do you, Luca?
I don't know what a regular con is.
Yeah, that's evident.
A negative.
Depends on the con.
You know what? I might as well look at it now. Can I look at it now?
Luca
What
is
are you
writing
looking-
it down.
What
Okay,
are
never
you
mind. I'll
looking
leave
at?
Luca. I was gonna try an investigation roll, but
Yeah, we can
Luca
do
made
it
me laugh.
together.
Yeah, let's do it.
Idiot.
We could do a team. Go at it,
yeah,
maybe.
Willow will ask for it back And then
Lucas scribbled down the actual recipe in like a shorthand so he can try and make it.
You might want to replace the glue with like syrup or something.
Whoa!
Dang, Willow!
Damn. Nice. Yeah.
This is what happens when you
Between-
have friends around.
Yeah. I think this has kind of turned into like an impromptu sleepover activity.
Yeah.
I think you get like halfway through it on a 26. You rolled very well.
thank you. Any words coming out? Any like?
It's you have a series of messages that you can decrypt now, or like a series of, I guess, like phrases, because the whole thing was like a lot of filler. The recipe was a way to hide what the actual code was.
Yeah.
But you have like sort of sets of, you would guess, numbers.
Coordinates or
Maybe. You haven't
When you
figured
just-
it out fully yet, but like it looks like the kind of thing that would be just like short sets of information.
is it numerical, the message, or is it just the numbers will represent something too?
Well, you'll have to continue working on it to find out.
Okay.
It's just one of those things that just takes time.
Yep.
To break. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
Impromptu
It's late at
sleepover then?
night.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And we'll hang out until they fall asleep again somewhere.
I think honestly we're gonna stay out on the boat. It seems like it's a nice night. Willow might actually
Yeah.
doze on the deck of their boat under the stars.
Yeah.
I think
will-
Luca like brings out bedding.
Sleep. Yeah.
Some blankets, pillows. And,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we start
Tidy
getting
up the
cozy.
food.
When we start getting
So
like
that-
cozy there. So it's all clean.
We don't get like pooped on by birds or anything.
It's the middle of the night, so that'd be impressive.
It was sweet. Unless it's owls.
Yeah.
One owl flies by just to shit on you, Luca.
Who?
You.
It's a giant owl in Eberron.
Who?
In Sharn,
Oh my
specifically.
god, I just got it!
Yeah.
Who?
Yep. Yeah.
Ah.
Dumb jokes. But yeah,
Yes.
you have a nice little sleepover on the deck of the scrap bucket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Preview of things to come.
Next day. Who's doing what and where?
So
Are we visiting Damon today?
yeah,
That's
we're
the
gonna
plan,
visit
right?
Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
I
think
have to go to work.
we could
so-
probably go to that.
Day, but yeah.
Skip to the meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
Okay.
I think around that,
So-
Luca might be making a potion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I'm doing contraption-y things too, or no, not yet. Not yet, never mind.
I think, Willow, your contraption-y things
at
are
work.
just your regular work,
My job.
workday
Yes.
stuff.
I imagine Eleanor does a lot of small talk. So
Oh,
I
yes.
learned a lot about her probably.
Oh, yes.
Cute.
You learn the exact ages of her husband, her kids.
Birthdays.
All of their birthdays, all of their favorite
Yeah.
foods, toys
Yep.
they've liked. Yeah, no, cool. It's just so, not like in a rude way, but I imagine that Willow's working all day with just with Helena,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
it's fine. I just haven't had a colleague in a while like that.
And I imagine she's excited to start this new job. So she's just like
Yeah.
gushing to get her own
Yeah.
energy out.
Yeah,
It is
She's
a very a friendly patter. It is
yes,
like absolutely like having just conversation podcast going on in the background.
Yep. Cool.
But yeah. Do you guys go over... Oh, excuse me. Do you guys go over to Damon at lunchtime or after the day's work?
Probably after a day's work. We both have jobs, right?
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you want to meet at the Gold Dragon or at the Quail?
I mean,
Either's fine.
we didn't make a appointment at the Quail, so we'd probably have to swing by the Gold Dragon.
Appointment. Yeah. I don't think they take reservations at the Quail.
Hey, Eka, I need a seat.
Take one then.
Thanks.
Um,
Carries a chair out the door.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're good, Davidson.
sure. Go to the Gold
We can
Dragon.
meet in the main area. I kind of just don't want to go pile into his room if it's not going to be
Yeah.
sensitive.
No.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah, we can
no.
meet downstairs.
Yeah. You meet downstairs in the dining area of the Gold Dragon, and Damon greets you all. Well, here we are again. So, I found a monster hunt for us.
Oh, did you now? What do we got lined up?
Well, so it's about a 2-day journey on foot from here. There's a copper mine in the hills upriver that recently uncovered some veins of gold. They were pretty excited to turn a profit, but then the gold started vanishing in chunks. People were blaming each other left and right for stealing until someone nearly got their arm taken off by a gold-eating monster. Monster had 1 eye, 3 arms, 3 legs, and a mouth where a head should be. And apparently its skin blended perfectly into the stone of the mineshaft walls. Anybody want to take a guess on what that is?
What do we roll
Could do
for
an
that?
Arcana check.
Yeah.
Yeah, nature or arcana would work here.
Oh, yeah. Good for me. I'm gonna go with nature. That seems in character. Wow. Never mind.
Oh my god. Our nat zeros lately are disgusting.
Very funny. Congratulations, you guys.
Luca, you're like caught up on the mouth where there is a head? How does that work?
Yeah, like you need a head for the mouth, but the whole head is the mouth. Is that what he means? Is there no head?
What, no head?
I think
No head?
Yeah.
It's like, and then you're like, wait, where's the eye if there is a mouth where the head should be?
Is it in the mouth? Then it sees what it's eating?
And you also have no idea what this is, but you're less caught up on the details. Willow,
Sorry,
this sounds...
I feel like N goes one-eyed, huh? And just like flashback to Alonzo.
Yeah. Starts thinking about Alonzo and like, yeah, I could take this thing.
Distracted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I could probably
Yeah.
fight this.
Yeah. Willow, you think that sounds like an elemental known as a Zorn. Xorn.
Elemental. Also, like, obviously Earth, like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willow will nod. Zorn?
Yep. So, my plan is basically we go to the mine, bait the Zorn with treasure to come out into the open, and then deal with it. And obviously, the sooner we get going, the better, since those poor miners are at risk.
Of losing profits and arms.
Mm-hmm.
Luca seems burdened by the knowledge that delays would put a dent in their livelihood.
And shrugs and looks at Willow.
Willow nods. 2 days travel, you said.
Mm-hmm.
So assuming we take this thing out quick, that's 4 days tops, maybe 5.
Probably around 5.
Damon's vibe. How's he dealing?
Make an insight check. What are you looking for exactly?
Is the trip all right? Is he burdened by the fact that he has to like do this with us?
Oh, but the epic highs and lows of
Oh my
one
God.
person.
Yeah, truly.
Is he annoyed that we're forcing him to do this? Those kinds of things.
I think this is very routine to him
Mm-hmm.
in a way. I think it's more like he is more interested in like what you guys say and do about it than having any strong feelings about it himself.
Okay. And does it seem like he's used to this kind of like taking control of a team vibe?
Maybe not used to it in the sense that he does it frequently, but he's not uncomfortable with it.
Okay.
And wants to ask a question. If Luke is done
Yeah.
looking at Damon.
Yeah.
And is going to ask, in your professional opinion, are there any supplies we should be procuring before we head out?
Well, your usual camping gear, and if you've got some treasure that you think would make good bait for a gold and gem-eating monster.
Looks at
Wouldn't
Damon, looks at his necklace, looks at Damon.
And give Luca like a squint, like, you know that absolutely out of the question, right?
Looking at Damon, what's...
You got a question, Luca?
Oh, I'm just wondering if that is the kind of treasure we should be... You know, if we've already got something that's valuable.
The more, the better. And
Right.
this is kind of a family heirloom, so I'd prefer to keep it.
So there's a chance we'll lose whatever it is we're using for bait?
There's a chance. But hey, it's a gold mine, so...
I wouldn't want to
It's a
take
gamble.
gold from the people who need it.
We're the people who need it.
Yeah, that's probably
Willow
going back
jokes.
into Green Tarn's economy anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
Willow's insight check
look at
was
the-
to Luca, by the way, looking at Damon, what his vibe is.
Fuck. He is neutral towards maybe having a kind of like not the best view of Damon as the kind of person leading a mission. He's not giving off the best impression yet, but that can change.
Okay.
Luca seems unconvinced right now. That's
Okay.
basically.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're doing this. So. Yeah, cool.
But he
Look
is
at this
not
way.
unopen to the idea of being convinced. That's
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Damon says, well, let's look at it this way. If we didn't take care of the monster, then they would have no gold eventually.
Yeah. I just don't know if I have anything valuable that isn't sentimental in its value.
Well, that's the idea.
Coin will do.
That's the idea, right? We'll procure or decide on things that we're willing to lose. We're obviously not going to drop anything of actual value to us. We've made some money recently. Throw a few gold coins at it. You can make gold dust out of gold coins. You can make gold bait out of gold coins.
Okay.
We'll manage.
We'll just put you there. You're valuable.
I'm not sure.
Not really meat eaters, those.
I'm not exactly adorned in jewels.
But you are a gem.
Rolls their eyes.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's gonna pull out, slam a whiskey bottle on the table and start pouring glasses.
I don't think you're supposed to
Tell
bring
me-
your own beer into a bar.
No, this is like it's not. We're not at the bar. I imagine we're just in the downstairs area.
Yeah.
We're in the dining area, so it's like common room type thing. You are allowed to bring your
Yes.
own food,
Okay.
though. This is
Yo,
not
but-
an
We're also
uncommon-
criminals, so like
No, I actually didn't
Speak
do
for
this in the other
yourself.
facility because of that. So
Yeah.
But anyway, no, Willow's going to just, out of context, give everyone like a little bit, because, you know.
What's the time of day?
Evening?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Luca doesn't want a day drink.
Oh my god. Willow's going to raise the glasses now and say, sounds like a plan.
a
That
successful
when are we
hunt.
leaving?
We've got a few more details to sort out, such as when we're going.
Okay. Raise
I
this glass.
imagine we'll want to take a day to get everything sorted in terms of supplies and so on.
Yep. This drink isn't for that, and Willow clinks their glass against Damon's and drinks it.
Oh,
And drinks
Okay,
as well.
then.
What's it for?
Does Luca actually ask? Does Damon even know what it's
Yes.
for?
Luca
No.
asked what's it for because it was like, if this is a, this is a contract in which we will say we will burn down a village, Luca's not going to drink to that.
What the actual fuck is wrong with
He
you?
doesn't know what he's drinking to, so he can't drink to it.
Willow will shake the whiskey bottle at you so you remember that we drank to the same thing. It was surviving the case and working on it together.
Oh, Luca takes a drink.
I don't know if... Yeah, hopefully he knows that. I don't know if Damon knows that. Whatever.
Probably not. He's been out in a
Yeah.
lot of ways.
It's always the person I don't expect to ask for context that does, and it's always Luca.
You really should
So
expect
you
it.
think
now.
you'd expect it by now?
Yeah.
En's already drinking.
yeah.
Sipping.
Damon
Yeah.
as well.
Luca shots it back. One drink.
Yep. This is good stuff.
Stolen from the murderer.
Woman knows how to pick
Ah.
them.
Hmm.
That's why it tastes.
Conversing with murderers and then stealing their belongings.
Why it tastes extra good.
Like a real pirate.
Is that true? Does the stealing make it taste better?
You tell me, Luca.
Well, I don't know. I didn't steal it. Luca seems excited by the possibility that if he steals something, it might taste better.
Willow
Mhm.
nods behind
It has
the
to be
counter
from
of
somebody that.
bar.
It's the having something that you think somebody else doesn't deserve to have.
Oh, right.
Watch out, you're gonna become a Zorn.
I mean, they worked hard to mine the hills. They deserve it.
Well, in this case, yes.
Where's its head if it has a mouth head?
And takes out a paper and slaps it down and slides it to Damon. Give us a visual here.
Well,
Gozy, go.
Give us your best
Damon
mouse
says, I
beholder.
believe Willow has a book on such monsters.
But not here, right? Looks at Willow.
Willow gives Damon an almost apologetic look and says, I actually don't. Yes, another
Well,
Damon
I'm
drawing.
going to. I'm not drawing it. I'm not drawing it right now because
Okay, is
that
Damon?
would take. Damon will give a rough approximation of the creature that I'm about to post in chat.
But you also will draw something later because you love us.
Yeah.
But we know that Damon draws something else to add.
Yes.
It's like
Damon
a
draws
ball
random
with
monsters.
like a spiky top and then arms.
Yeah.
And
It's a
legs.
torso with an eye sort of in the center of the chest, and again, no head, just mouth.
Yep. Just a
Ah.
gaping hole instead of a neck.
So me on a Friday.
So how big is this thing?
About the size of a person, usually.
Are
But
we
like
talking
an N-sized person?
Yeah, me-sized or him-sized or you-sized?
Damon does like a so-so hand gesture and gestures towards Luca and Willow. Around that range.
Okay.
Wide.
So not entirely off the table that it can eat me. I will just note that down.
Well, you
I
probably
don't think
wouldn't
it'd
taste
be
into
interested in you.
What if I
Yeah.
hit it with magic a bunch of times?
It might bite you, but it's not gonna eat you.
I'd like to keep all of my limbs.
Luca pulls a face.
I just clicked. Willow's also just like looking down at their shoes, their freshly decked out gold shoes, like.
Your
You-
shoes are gonna get dirty.
I think what I was worried about is their shoes getting eaten.
Oh,
Maybe you should bring a separate pair. That's a little less delicious.
Damon goes on to talk about the actual monster and
Yeah.
say, the thing about these elementals, especially earth ones, they tend to be able to move through ground like, a fish through water, so. The tricky part will be setting a suitable trap so that it can't just, burrow back down into the dirt and be a menace later on.
Would you
does
recommend
everyone have tops?
tarps?
Yes.
Like
Tarps?
tarpaulin? Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't we use tarps to?
Town.
Didn't we use
Yeah.
tarps to cause us to not fall through the lighthouse for a second time?
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have had
Yes.
plenty of tarp adventures already.
But not cotton ones, right?
What do you mean, not cotton ones?
Like we have plastic top, right?
Uh-huh.
In like the modern day. Does that happen
Yes.
in Eberron?
You don't have plastic, no.
Okay. And
But
it
you
can
do
be
have, like,
things move
you do have
through, like-
treated stuff.
Yeah. So that would be a good barrier to the ground.
It's an idea.
Okay.
What would you recommend, Monster Slayer?
He only has experience with dragons.
And elbows Luca's side, like let the man speak.
Well, the main thing is that it works. It can burrow through non-magical, unworked earth and stone. So if we get it on any kind of paving, wood, even like a set of planks or something, then it won't be able to necessarily burrow through. But it is still pretty strong, so we don't really want it to break out of whatever cage we get.
Naturally.
But we'll want to keep it away from open dirt.
Oh, if we get a nice hoard of treasure, hopefully we can draw it out to wherever we want.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick an ideal location, pull it out, knock it down.
Yep.
Cut its stomach off.
I think it's mostly stomach.
Well, it doesn't have a head to cut off, so you have to cut it in half.
Got an eye.
We'll say they're also pretty tough. You're not going to be able to stab it easily, let's say. You can still stab it, but it's,
Tough
you
hide.
know. Yeah.
Another reason to go for the eye. Trust me. Soft.
I'm sure you'll have no problem at all with that, Little White, but I'm more concerned for, Luca here.
I'm sure I can find ways to be useful.
You got a magical weapon?
Imbuing my blade with a smite doesn't count, does it? No, because that's just separate magic.
Yes. Smite is considered magical damage, but it's only the smite damage that is magic. The rest is mundane.
No, I don't. Unfortunately.
Willow pipes up. I could provide one for a limited time.
Well, that might be able to overcome the toughness of it.
You just have magical weapons lying around?
Not lying around, but...
I assume.
Oh, you're asking... I assume Willow can tinker something up.
Like the glasses.
Right.
All right. No, I have nothing lined up in the foreseeable future, so I can take tomorrow to prepare and then ready to go whenever these two are.
Damon looks at Luca and Willow.
Willow?
Oh. Luca's name came first.
Luca
Yeah.
seems fine. Nods.
To
Just
go
nods.
whenever.
Yep.
Willow's probably just gonna say the usual, like, I'll have to check with Bruno and possibly inform Varys. Otherwise, I suppose the sooner we go, the sooner we come back.
That is how time works, as far as I know.
All right. Sounds like we have a plan then. We stay in touch. Probably get back together in a couple days. Ready to head out? Unless
Sounds
something
good to
comes
me.
up.
Willow nods.
Luca nods.
All good then.
I think Willow will probably excuse themselves then. If that is the case, they are going to probably have to start getting their shit together in terms of like preparing weapons and figuring stuff out. Anything else happening with the team in that sense?
Willow seems to want to peel off, and it's not going to keep him.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I know that I'm on my way to solving it myself, but do I need to ask Damon for help with the encryption? Like, would it? I guess I'm hanging around anyway.
It's just hours.
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
literally
like,
just like it's literally just like going through the text, you know?
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like Willow's
okay.
so far ahead of it now, trying to bring someone in
Yeah.
to catch them up is going to be a slower process than just sitting yourself down with it. That would be my vibe.
Yeah, cool. And I think
Yeah.
that's part of why Willow wants to pardon themselves, because they feel the need to resolve this beforehand, because if something time sensitive comes up with regards to Meraldine, if she messages back today and says final opportunity, meet me tonight, or it's like, or piss off forever, I'm throwing the sending stone into the ocean, then that's obviously going to determine how quickly I can commit to this, though I am aiming to commit to what you guys are saying too, especially knowing that those people are in danger.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's Willow's vibe as they are getting up to peel off?
They're doing what they're saying. They aren't like, sad or anything. They're just doing what needs to be done.
I'm just wondering if they'd like some help, but how do I gauge that?
I am going to put my head down and study. So,
I can study. I can pass text and turn letters into numbers.
I think what, Luca, you are best served by doing is making sure that, like, you guys will have supplies for the trip ahead.
Yeah. Go home, go to the Poppy and like see what's available to pack up for camping and what you have on
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take a day to make a potion.
I made one today, didn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
I?
You
Yeah.
can make more. There's
Okay.
3 of us.
Yeah. And Damon, I guess.
Yeah, you can also, I guess. He doesn't bleed, right? He doesn't need a potion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
gonna make
might
that man bleed.
okay. Blood of all. Maybe don't go against your religion. En's gonna give a little jab to Willow as they start to like go their separate ways in a kind of like, hey, tell me what you find out about that encryption, because En's curious.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Okay. I think once you guys have gone your separate ways, Willow, you receive a message again around the same time of night from Miraldine, which says, "You say that, but I still don't know what you actually want from me, regardless of your intent."
Yeah. Can Willow go back to in the note?
Mm-hmm.
Investigation check?
Yeah. Actually, you don't need to
Oh.
roll anymore. You can just
Read.
you're solving it at this
Oh,
point.
okay.
Yeah. It's literally just a matter of time.
Okay.
So you have decrypted the message and revealed that it is a series of dates spread out over the months of this year and coordinates around Regalport and the principalities at large. On the list is a few that stand out that I will mention. One of the earlier dates is the day of the Follies premiere, when Miraldine was absent. The last date on the list that has not yet to pass is, or that has already passed, is the 21st of Dravago, and the next upcoming date is the 15th of Larvion.
21st of Dravago. Now, Willow's just going to go back through their book. Tarek died on the 18th. Okay, so I'm flicking back to our big thing. So the 21st... Oh, that was my first appointment with Wolfie.
Aw, cute.
Shut the hell up! Willow flicks back to their book, their journal of like what was on the 21st, and then it's like, have my first appointment with Warford today. Actually, I am curious what I wrote.
That was also our ambush where you got to taunt Stanislav,
Yes.
so that was fun.
It was sexy of you.
Mm-hmm.
Pardon me a moment. You know,
No,
moment.
that's fine.
And then 15th of Lavion, is that next month?
Yes.
Yep.
A few days after my birthday?
That's about a week. A whole week after your birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, 21st of Dravago. Not stop thinking about my... Okay, Warfare. Oh, that's so funny, because this is the day where I wrote about, let's see. About him hating Miraldine's guts. And then, of course, he doesn't know about her intentions. That's a whole different kettle of fish. That was about him not knowing that she was resurrecting Tarek. It has aged. And sorry, the first date was on the date of the Folly, so 20th of Olerin.
That's at least one of the ones that you can pick out as notable.
You said coordinates, right?
Yes.
Does that
Yeah,
mean
do I
Willow
know
can
where
map
those
those
are?
coordinates? And I assume you have a map.
Some of them are around Regalport, you would guess, and others are out in the seas and the principalities and stuff like that. Sort of more mainlandish rather than in the islands.
the one the one that was on Dravago. Do I know anything about that placement of that coordinate?
The dates and coordinates do not seem to be particularly linked.
Right.
It's not like there's a date and a coordinate related to it. There's two separate lists.
Maybe I can show up to you guys. Should I get your guys' insights on this?
We could try. Certainly willing to help.
I will definitely try.
Or is it like a...
Honestly,
Should I be racking my own mind?
and might check in with their little book to ask how it's going at some point.
I think if N checks in with the book, they're going to hear like the ding dong at the nodding poppy. Like, you pinged me just as I was here.
Oh, well then. And we'll snap the book shut and go to answer the door. Fancy meeting you here.
Yeah. Willow responded. You just see answer the door written in your book.
Wow. That's all. In any other context, that would be scary, but...
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was holding up a piece of paper. Cracked it. And then
Look at you.
we'll explain to you and Luca what it is. They are idly twirling the sending stone. And they're going to ask you both. I'm thinking of playing it bold, but I do feel kind of bad that she won't be able to respond until tomorrow, especially since we are leaving shortly, to ask her bluntly who she's meeting with on these dates.
Can she no longer respond if we leave?
She can. And that's probably a good thing,
Yeah, I mean,
What's
if you're
the
gonna be
range
bold,
on it?
might as well do it when you're
Anyway.
out of stabbing distance.
And if you'd
Range
like
is
to
anywhere.
give me a either insight check. Yeah, insight check I think would be appropriate for this.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, not bad. 17.
Ooh.
You're looking at the spacing of the days. They are like regularly spaced apart by months, but irregularly spaced apart by days. And you're looking at the coordinates. Willow has identified that like at least some of these are within Regalport. And you know that on one of the days was when Meraldine hired you to impersonate her.
Yeah.
On a 17, you get the feeling like these coordinates might be dead drop locations.
Ah. So she's dropping something off.
Or picking something up.
Or, yeah, or
Mhm.
picking something up. One or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, I think. And, like, stares at the paper and the notes for a long amount of time, and then they sit back and place a hand over their mouth in thought. Now, call me crazy. Those might be locations for drops. No, you put something down. You don't want anyone to know you're connected to the person picking it up, vice versa. So, if I don't know, you were impersonating a captain at a theater, and said captain was going and picking up something in a secret location, dropping something in a secret location. I don't know, the impersonator would be a pretty good cover.
Are any of these locations out at sea?
Some of them are. Or rather,
Is that-
not like out at sea, but like in other ports or like other places where a ship could go.
But far enough away that it would require a ship.
What do you mean?
Like, are these places that she could go alone, or does she require assistance from a crew and a ship?
This seems like some of the locations out at sea are like if you're in the neighborhood sort of locations, like because she is still a ship's captain,
Yeah.
and clearly whatever arrangement this is has taken that into account.
But randomly stopping at a port and picking up, say, like a huge box is conspicuous, so the crew might notice. So either the crew is in on it in some capacity, or the whatever's being exchanged is small enough to go unnoticed. Be it like a bag of diamonds or a list of information about something.
She's a merchant ship picking up cargo. Wouldn't be that conspicuous.
But I imagine there are people that check what is being loaded and unloaded, and it's their job to find inconsistencies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure if you're clever
But-
enough, you can work past that.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a captain of a ship.
There are many tricks that smugglers have.
Yep.
Mm.
It's not that hard
Good
once
question.
you know the ins and outs.
She did seem quite knowledgeable.
A
She was working
question
as a
about-
merchant before being a captain,
Mhm.
so I'm sure she has experience in that as well.
Mm-hmm.
A question of something I kind of forgot to ask earlier. You know the names in the ledger?
Mm-hmm.
Any of those correspond with these dates?
Like when people were hired on or something.
No, you said that there were some extra random visitors on the boat.
Passengers.
Oh.
Passengers. Two questions about them
Oh.
was if any of them correspond with these. And also I was curious about like their actual names. You know, sometimes people's names give you an indication of where they're from.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't
They
sure.
also, I will say, all of the passengers seem to be like mostly from around the principalities in terms of like name styles and where they were picked up. I think no, none of those correspond with any of these dates that you picked up,
Mhm.
because this list of dates only goes back until the beginning of this year.
Yeah. Was musing some like what makes you a traitor? What makes you a traitor? What we didn't hear is that Warford actually said a traitoress, and she's trading goods. I
Well,
mean, like,
I mean-
because Warford's on the mind. I know I'm making hard eyes at Rom. Like, it's hard not to think of smuggling when you think of what we've been doing, but I don't want to immediately like just lock in because Warford was a Dream Lily fiend. So also she went up the east coast.
And
Furthest north she went was Karnath, and then the south, did you say?
how regulated is Dream Lily in Green Tarn, the principalities? Like, is that really something that you'd have to be secretive about anyway?
The whole thing about Dream Lily is not that it is like illegal, it is just a controlled substance.
Yeah.
So there are still medical applications for it, much like there are medical applications for things like morphine and cocaine. So, for example, cocaine is still used in eye surgery because of its distinct properties of like both numbing and other things. I don't remember what the exact bit of trivia was, but you know, that sort of thing where like Dream Lily is a controlled medical substance. However, getting it through legal channels is much, much more expensive than it is through illicit channels. And for people who use it recreationally, which most people who are using it are doing it for that reason, or self-medicating, will go through illicit channels where it is like cheaper but riskier, you know?
Yeah, and that holds true for the principalities as well then.
Yeah. There might be places where it's like easier than some compare, like if there is, for example, a more significant trade with Sarlona,
Yeah.
or like there's a large Redran diaspora.
Yeah.
But that's not really the case in Regalport.
Right. All right. That's not out of the question.
It's not out of the question, but like,
It's also the first answer I reached for. Like, it's...
yeah.
Can I do another intelligence or insight or some kind of check just to kind of rack my mind for, like, if I can connect this new information with context?
I think the other thing is, like, you probably, because of the way Warford talked about it, it probably wasn't something as simple as smuggling.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of person he is.
What do you mean by that?
It's like, one, he was poisoning himself with his own supply of cinnabar.
There's that.
2, he clearly had been dealing with a Dream Lily trader, and like didn't make much of a deal about that. It's like, oh yeah, of course, why not? So it's smuggling is maybe not the thing. And Luca brought up the good point that, like, if these are dead drop locations, what is likely being picked up or put down is small enough to go unnoticed.
Yeah.
And I would say it would have to be non-perishable, and I'm not sure, like, you wouldn't leave a supply of cocaine in a truck waiting for someone to go pick it up. That seems too wasteful. Whereas,
you
like,
steal a car.
Yeah, right?
Like yeah, so
whereas you could leave like a journal and no one's going to steal that because they don't know if it's got anything important in it. That's kind of Luca's logic.
Yeah.
No, that's why I wanted to see, because I'm not thinking it's the Dream Lily thing, but like I just want to also dismiss that as a point. For various reasons. So I'm.
I think make one more investigation check now that you have these dates and coordinates.
Another one? My one before didn't go towards anything, did it?
No.
But so just making it okay. Okay.
You've got all this information now from your friends.
Wow. I knew I was gonna roll a fucking 1. Can you guys give me advantage?
Yeah, can we give Will advantage since we're all putting our heads together for this?
Sure.
Actually?
Yeah.
There we
That's
go.
more like it.
Okay, so you're starting to think about this, and I think, like, specifically what you try to think about is how to parse this information from Warfred's perspective with what he knew about what was going on. Yes. He knew about the Emerald Claw attack was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You guys were there when that happened, and what was Meraldine doing at that attack? Well, she immediately said that, like, this wasn't the dire sharks, even though that they weren't. That the zombies were dressed up as dire sharks.
Yeah.
You later found out that the Emerald Claw has something to do with the dire sharks, but this was for their own ends. The attack on the auction hall.
Mm-hmm.
And then Warfred stepped right in the middle there and tried to conceal his own ambitions by muddying the waters of everything else that was going on. So
maybe Meraldine was the breach for Warfred.
Warfred consider a betrayal of Regalport and Regalport society on Meryldine's behalf. Well, they are well known as wanting to be respectable and to be recognized by Corvair at large as like a legitimate nation with rules and so on. Maybe they won't ever recognize Ryger as like a genuine Winarn, but they can recognize him as a person of power. So, if Merylldine is betraying Regalport in some way, who is interested in Regalport maybe not doing so well, comparatively?
I mean, the Dire Sharks are the main competitor, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. It's possible.
No political awareness of my surroundings.
Luca. Oh, sorry. Oh, what?
Yes.
So, on a 24, you sort of go through this information step by step. You look at these coordinates. You think about how Merylldine hired a changeling to impersonate her briefly.
Think about how she called it an affair.
It's entirely possible that she is selling sea dragon secrets.
Little notes. And dead drop locations. Easy peasy.
To
Information.
a rival.
You know, what's funny? Not haha funny. Oh, man. Alright. I don't know if I mentioned this on stream. I think I actually mentioned it on our personal chat.
Mm-hmm.
That the way that Merylldine jumps, like, this isn't Dire Sharks over the...
Yeah, you did.
Dire
You did.
Sharks.
And I noticed
I
there was
like-
something. Yeah, you definitely said that. Sorry, you can finish.
I forgot, you go.
Oh, there's something. I will look at it later. I don't like bringing up too many notes during session. I'm streaming the thing. There was something that what's his name? Cheswick. Cheswick said that always caught my ear about how Merylldine reacted to that. I think it was Cheswick.
I can go look at that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was Cheswick. And that always, like, I asked Brina about that, I think. And, like, we didn't really have any context for what that was at the time. I said something about it out loud. I touched on that. So, and that's been playing in the back of my mind since then. So, I think it was Cheswick.
Yes, testimonies.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have
Yeah, I
testimonies,
believe
right?
it is. The testimony from Cheswick Law is weird that Frostroot immediately ruled out the Dire Sharks.
That's it.
But then accused
Yeah.
the Thorani sculptor of murking her boyfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it.
No, it's been there a while. It's so funny because it was there for a while, so much that I, like, bounced past it. Like, I said it, and I was like, this is probably, like, you know, the most obvious one is that she's working with them, or at least able to, or at least willing to share information with them, in whatever that means. But yeah, I think the main thing, so, like, that stood out to Rom. The main thing that stood out to me was that she was just quick to take the heat off in that instance, despite it being, like, an incredibly tense moment. Keeping her ledgers all good too. There's a lot of different angles, and pardon me if I sound distracted, because the main thing standing with me right now is that if she has a connection to Dire Sharks, who are currently business partners with Lyranda, and becomes privy to local news that I have recently become privy to that are secrets,
Bad.
Bad. Like, I'm actually sorry. Mim is like actually like both of us, because I think that as this dawns on Willow, as like if she is
It's a
liaising
strong
with,
possibility.
yes, if big if capital I, she is liaising. No, it doesn't even mean that. If she is willing to betray the sea dragons, I feel like the magnitude of that, Willow knows. And what did she say to me? What did she ask? What I wanted out of this? Like what my intentions were? I don't actually remember her exact wording. The fact is that if she is a traitor at all, I feel like the weight of that has finally like settled in, as I consider like the first and realist possibility is Dire Shark connection. And if that is the case, lots of people might answer for this in the long term. But how does that weigh into like the Tarek resurrection? What happens if that fails or succeeds?
You don't
Business as
know.
usual?
That does seem to be the whatever of the land.
Crest. What other options? Like, let me think. Sorry, real quick. You said that the furthest north that she went was Karnath.
Yes.
That's through fallen areas as well. Like, not the.
Yeah, there's a
I don't know.
possibility. Like I was saying, there's a possibility she was the breach that tipped Warfred off to the attack. This is also just a theory, but one of my theories is that Warfred was already like hanging around Tarek. Warfred could read minds. There's every possibility he was reading Meraldine's mind, and Meraldine was thinking about the smuggling in of the undead, the attacks, all of the auction hall, all of that, and that's how Warfred learned about it. So I would not be surprised if she has Farland connections because of that theory that I'm playing with. And remind me,
There's
go ahead.
there's also every chance that like Meraldine was just thinking about whoever she is actually liaising with, or like trading secrets with, and that Warfred learned of the Emerald Claw attack via something else entirely.
Yep, that's why this
Like
is just a
Errol.
theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I've assumed thus far that Warfred found out via, for example, Errol or any of the other breaches, because he has like a negative sort of opinion of, well, everyone. But like, I feel like
I just know he had
could
close proximity with Meraldine for a while, so like there was more opportunities. Well, he was around Tarek, and so I imagine sometimes Meraldine was around. So that would be my logic. I see I'm being led away from it, but my logic would be that he had more chances to catch that thought process, whereas if like I don't know how many times he would have been around Arl of all people. So
yeah, no, that makes sense.
No one wants to be around.
Oh,
but yeah, I wanted to ask also, do we know the relationship between Farland and the Dire Sharks? Like, what are they like? Are they chummy? Are they neutral?
I think they are neutral, but from what you remember of the encrypted note from Vaelia's situation, you know that at least the Emerald Claw is somehow in talks with the Dire Sharks.
Yeah. So I knew there was a connection there. So again, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying there's a possibility there's connections there.
And following that connection, a question. How common is it for a person to suggest necromancy as a response to something?
I mean, it's a medical procedure, so...
No, what I'm asking is how commonplace is it? Because it threw Willow off, so I'm just wondering, like, is it a commonplace thing for someone with money, or is it a commonplace thing for someone from a certain place?
I think it's a commonplace thing for someone with money.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. She's a business lady and she's well traveled, so that's not damning.
Yeah.
Just wanted to double check on the topic.
I want to know what she's getting out of this.
Yeah, this is definitely something that's like, this is a procedure that would be like more common for wealthy people whose like there's been a hunting accident or something stupid like that, where it's like, oop, our heir to be has been
Accidentally
chomped.
stabbed himself in the face.
Yeah, that sort of thing. Where it's we better undo that. It's still
Control C,
like
Control C.
it's still expensive and risky and so on, but it is like, getting the best hospitals, getting the best care,
Yeah, okay.
that sort of thing. Where
Cool.
it's more of a money thing than it is necessarily a cultural thing.
Yeah, no, double checking because, like, for example, for Willow, it was a cultural thing. So, like, it's interesting to see if there were just double checking if there's any connection there.
Yeah.
Okay. At this
Also,
time,
you don't know Meryldean's personal life that well.
Yeah.
That's the one piece that is a known unknown, is you do not know what Meryldean gets out of this.
Yeah, that's what N's
You
asking.
do not know what her priorities are.
Yeah, what does she get out of this? There's got to be something she's gaining by doing this.
Yeah. Whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
Traitoring. Betraying.
Everyone's motivated by something.
Mm-hmm. I don't think Willow's said much for a bit. They've just been kind of like idly thinking. They've sort of spaced out in their Willow way.
Yeah. I
Going
think
through
N's
their,
probably the one who like
mental
started
mind map.
going down the timeline of things and events and it's like started to talk it out and let Willow listen and process and let the gears turn as N talks to Luca and Willow about everything that's happened and all the potential connections.
I will say there is an unfortunate side effect with Willow. Like, you see that one investigation check? I think, I know that I got like advantage on that roll from you guys. Thank you. But I think the thing you staved off of it was the ramifications of a traitor have kind of started weighing on Willow a bit, and so like their logic about this has been kind of intermittently like, if we were seeing this through a camera, you would be seeing scenes of like completely unrelated footage. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
There is the Meryldean aspect. There is like imagery that Willow is conjuring of like perhaps shaking hands with a dire shark, perhaps shaking hands with someone else, perhaps shaking hands with Veelia. There's like all of these kinds of images of possibilities combined with images of people that you don't know, and hands being shaken, drinks being passed, drinks being, not passed. It's like there's a lot of like mushed together stakes in this, and then there's like make-believe images. Varys in trouble, sinking ships. There's just a lot happening on that side. Zeke, would you mind sending me what Meryldean said again?
Yes, I can send that over.
Thanks.
We're way closer to figuring her out than she'd like us to be. It's not that hard to sabotage a traitor. You start seeing where the veins are. Funny how I just made a friend who might be able to deal with this.
I don't think this is something that can be dealt with quietly. And even if it is, it will still turn a few heads.
I'm just saying it's not something we have to deal with when we have rat catchers.
Willow's going to write out what she sent. Like sit down at the table with you guys. Imagine they were standing and like push it forward to the two of you. And at the same time, we'll say, no, I don't actually know if they know what to say yet. Pass it on. They'll tap it. Say, that's what she sent.
Say that, but I still don't know what you actually want from me, regardless of your intent. What do you think you want from her? Not sure? We have two ways of going about this. Either you be blunt, you be direct about what you want in regards to this whole gestures at the notes trader business, the dead drops, the strange movements, or we start playing an angle. You get her on your good side. You don't let her know that you're on to her. You get close. You find out more. You're both interested in Tarek's well-being.
Ooh. Willow looks at you clearly at that stage like you read their silence like a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing with you guys, like what they're about to say, but they kind of pulled back on it with you guys being like it's going to be a big thing. Eyes are going to get turned her way. There are people that are going to deal with her. Is that we have to time this right because it's more than her life hanging in this.
Varys
There are
seems to have a level of trust in the High Prince.
Well, maybe we can rely on that she's not going to pull anything huge until Tarek's resolved. His situation is resolved. So maybe you should play that angle. Appeal to your concerns, your mutual concerns of Tarek. And once that starts finding a resolution, then we can dig a little deeper, figure out what your next plans are. And if you've already won her over by, well, to some degree, as much as you can win Captain Frosterd over, by showing a legitimate concern in Tarek, then who knows?
I think Willow is listening to you, but after some time, will sort of tip their head. It's not really my style, is it?
You've got the benefit of Ascending Stone, Willow. Nobody can read your face or your body language.
No, I mean...
It's your play.
What I'm trying to say is, I suppose I'm tired of lying. And I did spend a whole month playing that angle only to fail. So, perhaps I will do this my way. One moment. I'm going to think a thought real quick. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Willow's writing quickly.
Mm-hmm. Doing the math.
Yep. This is the sound of Willow writing.
This is the sound of their pen.
You can see them counting words with their pen as they go.
And I've become very familiar with this lately, actually.
By all means, you guys banter in the background while Willow's doing this. Or I feel like in the moment there is like a tense silence if this were a
Yeah, I think En's just kind of leaning in a bit just to see what you're writing.
Yeah.
Leaning in, looks at Luca, looks back towards Willow.
Yeah.
Starts playing with their umpire's coin.
Mm-hmm.
All right, if I have counted correctly, I think I know what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys will see Willow lean back and open up the little pocket watch that they've been holding.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they do not use Gil's mask. They'll hold it up, press the little button, and say...
Luca is fascinated by that. But continue.
And say... An accusation has been laid against you. Traitoress, I will make no moves until Tarek's fate is sealed, but trust, I am paying close attention.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I think from that scene, you get the, like, send of it, and then, like, there's probably, like, a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Unwindy kind of small talk, but clearly Willow is about to go home and do some more thinking and preparing. And it's
Yeah.
fine. Like, they thank you guys as well for your help with sorting it out.
Good.
But yeah, like, soundless scene
Yeah.
of me waving you guys off
Yeah.
with thanks.
Yeah. And Luca will go to bed. I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Unless I have reason not to. Yeah.
think
No,
so.
I don't think you do.
All right.
yeah, so I think what we see is and retreating to their room, and on their desk they've kind of made a habit of propping up their mirror now. They're not so afraid of looking in it anymore. They used to hide it in a drawer, but now they just kind of have it propped up on their desk. So sometimes they catch their reflection. They come into the room and they just kind of drag their hands down their face and exhale and try to wind down for the evening after all of that information and the field trip, and it's a lot to deal with. But when they're in the silence of their own room in their own head, it comes back to something that has been hiding in the back of their mind for a while. And their reflections speak to them, but not as En, as Thale. Do you think we'll see them again after all of these years? I don't know. We will be returning to Sharn someday. It's a big city. I bet I could hide from them.
Oh, is that a challenge? You really want to make a bet against a whistler?
More importantly, could you live with that? Do you want to keep hiding, En? No. En turns to the mirror, and when they see their reflection fall forward, it's them now. It's just En. They step up to it and put their hands down on the table, stare hard into their reflection, who they are, the face they've chosen 5 years. I will be going back to Sharn. Me. En. And En wouldn't abandon them. And En brings their hands up to their head, rakes their fingers through their hair, both hands starting at the brow and drawing themselves backwards, dragging across their fringe, down the back of their head through their ponytail. And as their hair comes out the other side, it grows longer, thicker, as if transformed by their palms, pulled loose by their fingertips. Their fringe evens out into a thick layer above their eye. A section of hair by their left ear knits itself into a long braid that tucks into their ponytail, cascading down alongside the luscious tail of white hair that now reaches to their mid-back. And they shake it out and stand up straighter. They're not hiding anymore. They're En. Yeah! New strike!
Thank you,
New
everybody,
En!
for watching!
Yeah! Linger on the sprite for a moment.
Lingering on this, make it bigger. Make it loom.
Make it, okay.
Enlarge.
Let me.
Zoom and enhance.
So this new sprite, it's a full body sprite. Look at that.
Yeah.
So we got the whole hand.
They float.
Yeah.
They're so big
Yeah,
now.
look at them. They're not hiding anymore.
Your long ass hair.
Wow.
Wow.
Your long, like your hair knitting together. Stop it.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's how Theo always
No,
comes
it's-
out with his braids.
Yes, I know. Oh my god, remind me to tell you how this factors into my favorite end moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
So cute.
brand new end sprite, updated and prettified. New outfit. The
Oh.
outfit's subtly different. You might notice a lack of feathers, and the book is no longer on a strap, but on a belt. And they've got
Yeah.
Oh.
sexy little leg knife.
Leg
Yeah.
knife. Oh yes, it's a little leg knife. I just see it.
Yeah.
Thigh
Wow.
holster.
Mad. Oh, they're so pretty
Amazing
and
stuff.
handsome. And
Yes.
mad elegant.
Thank you, Mim and Sarah, for working really hard to get this done.
Yay.
It looks so good. I'm
Yeah.
very excited. And yes,
Points at the
good
ribbon,
eyes,
points at the
Sasha.
ribbon.
You see it? You see the gay little ribbon?
Yeah.
I felt so proud of myself. I know that like it's funny because like I know that we worked on this all together, like we three.
Yeah.
But like seeing it on screen still like just like, ripped a scream out of me.
Yep.
It looks different when it's out of your hands and in its context, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, so cute.
Mhm.
Oh, mad. Okay. Oh, I love it.
Yes, I love it too.
Thanks.
Thank you. I have now control see through all the different angles as I return into their usual spot. All right.